Hello, Craig. It has been quite a long time, but we are now back for our regular sessions. Not Lobsterverse, just plain old, well dressed bones. Not last time on Well Dressed Bones, but a couple of times before that, where our story left off, we were at a wedding, potentially,
You let me
theoretically.
you let me know if you need help, okay?
A wedding that didn't come to pass. Um, as our as our party was invited to the wedding of their friend Metal Vaunt to a random who she was doing for political reasons. Um, uh, uh, Things went awry, I will say, as Metal finally confessed to the others that she was deeply unhappy and wanted to escape, and thus started a scheme to help Metal escape, with a lot of chaos caused by those circumstances. Metal was able to successfully escape with some help uh, of her savior once again, Jacques Abido, as well as the rest of the party, with Sinner being a bit of a scapegoat, although perhaps not entirely, and a lot of interesting other sort of like um, political um, undercurrents of this big meeting, as of course the Society for Better Governance is deeply involved in magical politics, and there were some interesting new faces there, as well as some old faces that you ran into, both people from season one, like Arcanus Goff and the former administrator Tone, as well as people that you really didn't expect to run into, like Kalor and her assistant slash manservant, kind of, sort of, Mr. George. Um, there was a lot of conflict. There was a lot of dancing. There was a bit of and also there was, what was it, Mr. May, Mr. May, and his group, therefore unknown reasons, financial people from Mammon and Sons Financial and Services, and offering some funding to May. May sort of alternately fighting back and giving in to the influence of her gray remnant. And finally, after Metal was safe, the party destroyed, most people suffering from smoke inhalation. Um, our heroes managed to get away and were regrouping in the town of Forsyth and in Cal's temple, where everybody was kind of staying the night before getting ready to head out the next day for, uh, in news to me, Cedar Falls, the the location that Fish had learned was the current living place of their son, potentially, Henry Malaveda, and
Don't put it into question right now.
where Fish has kind of been learning about Henry's existence and Henry being in trouble, and learning about where he was at a time when he was homeless and in distress, and seeing monsters everywhere, and finally running into Jonas and being arrested or kidnapped, maybe. Hard to know what the distinction is when it seems like the town is perhaps under Jonas's control or influenced by Jonas in some way. Um, Fish, torn between supporting Metal and trying to get to Henry, ended up turning to the sanctuary for help, and they were able to arrange transport. You're told that there was a little bit of trouble because, much like the ruins in which the party met in May, there seems to be an anti-teleporter sort of field that keeps teleporters from directly coming in. And instead, you have been told that tomorrow you will be meeting a teleporter to escort you sort of down the mountain from where Cedar Falls is, with transportation arranged there to get you up to town. And with that, we have, the night of recovery. Any scenes you want to have as you are all, resting and primarily healed from this large adventure that happened at this point several hours ago. Escaping from a smoke bomb filled melee of uh, hired uh, hired guns and people of dubious morality trying to constrain metal, and also maybe you. Um, as uh, as it is evening on the mountainside. Cal returning to her temple, Fish returning to their little rental sublease, and the others finding a place for the night. Is there any scenes you want to run in this evening, or should we just step forward to the next day?
Fish totally conks out. They're out for the night. I just want to remind you that Jamal is very upset um, and sore, and he's being left behind to take care of the temple as well.
I do think that once you get back, Jamal uh, gets out of the car that you drove up in, looks to make sure that Cal doesn't need any kind of physical assistance getting out of the car, which she wouldn't. She's fine. And then it sort of disappears into the temple. Not sort of coming in together, not sort of waiting around for any conversation between Cal and the others. Just sort of going back to work in a way.
Shimon goes to the highest point he can find and goes, "Oh," which is, of course, his signal with Sinner.
Yeah.
Io calls back and is like, "What up?" And he's like, "No! Sorry, I'm trying to get the Sinner." And she's like, "Okay, I'm trying to sleep here." I'm pretty sure I rolled bad insight last time, so I will respect that by having Cal not give a fuck.
I was like, wow, he's so dedicated to his job. Look at him going straight back to work. What a
Just
great
being
man.
like, Jamal's giving me some privacy so I could talk to May about something, or what have you.
And can you remind me, May did drop past to Fishers to be like, hey, are we good, Chief? That was the thing that happened during this section, yeah?
I think, no, that's what happened like the time before, because they're having a thing every day, right?
Right before that, yeah, cool.
But no,
Easy.
as far as Fish is concerned, like, yeah, we're all on the level. We're all friends.
Okay, cool.
There wasn't actually an incident at the wedding between Fish and May. Yeah.
Okay. Can May roll insight to see if she picks up on being like, fuck this, actually?
Her bestie-in-law.
Yeah. That's a 2, naturally, which is going to come to like a 3. I'm pretty certain.
Wow, I just
May's also
realized
like
Jamal is her bestie-in-law twice over.
Yeah. You know what? Jamal had a hard day. He's not. I mean, you don't think Jamal likes parties at the best of times, and God,
Yeah.
what a hard party.
Yeah.
He's got to get in there. He's got to make sure everybody's okay, and then he's probably going right to bed. You know.
Yeah, and fair enough. I totally understand, Jamal. I understand so much. I'm not even saying goodbye. I'm just going to leave you to it.
Deep
Yeah.
respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cal. I don't think Cal's going for any conversation, but she's made it clear that like she can get a room ready for May, or she can just straight up like sleep in her bed.
Yeah, May's up for whatever. It's late in the evening. May's happy just to crash next to Cal, Family Guy post style.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with moving on.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
Where's Sinner gonna sleep?
In the dirt.
We don't know
doesn't
where
sleep.
he is.
He just runs down a freeway.
Yeah. He's on the
Yeah.
run.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's
You
disappeared.
know where
Oh,
he
you
is. We don't know where he is.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah. Because we were thinking of having him come with us, but that didn't happen.
No,
There's
Fish
Jacques in
accidentally framed him for the kidnapping.
I don't know how accidentally it was, but
Which goes right.
Okay.
Actions have consequences.
On their part, probably not. On my part, absolutely accidental.
Does May know that this has happened? I can't remember.
Yeah, everyone knows. He's
Yeah.
out.
Okay, everyone knows that he's a suspect. Okay. Cool.
And that's the
It's definitely not
story
thinking
that we've
about
all
Sinner
agreed
at all.
on.
Yeah, we
Cool.
all agree. So we all agreed to throw Sinner under the bus, and Jamal found this out and was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys?"
Yeah.
Yeah, also about the
Yeah.
breakup.
Yeah.
He's like, when did this happen?
Yeah.
And Cal's like, I don't know, logistically, the timeline.
yeah. We cut to somewhere unknown, like somewhere unknown. Sinner is banging on a metal door. A little hatch slides open, and you just see a pair of eyes. The man goes, "Well, well, well, coming back to me. Same as always. Same as always." And Sinner goes into a safe room. Well, he'll be back eventually. As
Sinner has been written out of this campaign.
as you guys sort of split off, Fish probably carrying Kekino away to the room. If everyone's okay with it, we will skip ahead to the next morning. Obviously, Cal gets some quiet greetings from the others, but she hasn't been gone that long. Just a little event, and word has probably trickled back to some of the more informed, like Rousseau, that something happened at an event down south, but probably not pressing for details at this point.
You can say.
As you head on in to the temple and get ready for the evening, passing out Family Guy style in the bed or on the floor. Who knows? The next morning, as you wake up, Fish probably this morning has been tossing and turning a little bit, anxious with needing to get going, needing to be on the move. Probably wakes up a little bit before dawn. You do hear a car sort of rumble through town in the early mornings of the day, and people wake up early here. You can hear some other people out and about, but not a ton of vehicles in this town. People either kind of work here or locally, or a lot of people kind of like catch rides with each other. There's some people in town that kind of work at a large mining complex that's a couple miles away, and they just all kind of carpool together.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the new mine that they opened up after the mine that used to be the mine from that now Cal lives in.
Yeah, the mine that was the mine that was the mine. There is actually like physically where Cal's city is like the mining heart of Canada. So they're like in actuality is a very large mine, like 20 miles from where Cal is.
Okay.
Yeah, just up to you how you go about your day. You know, I'm not sure if there's any kind of like a warning call or anything like that to Cal or the temple people, but maybe someone's here.
Yeah, they just kind of make sure they've got everything. Yep, everything. Weapons all good. Yep, crowbar, torch. And then if the ride is outside, then they're going to be like, all right, just swing by the temple and I'll pick up my friends real quick.
As you get ready, you double check anything. Kekino is just kind of like, Dad, is it time to go?
Yeah, bud. We're gonna go and get Henry. You looking forward to it?
I'm a little nervous. I hope he likes me, but also I know that he's in trouble.
Okay. First of all, he's gonna love you, because how could he not? He's a human being with a heart and soul, as far as I'm aware at this point. He will love you. But also, the most important thing right now is rescuing him. And that will also get him to love you. So, like, we can't, even if you being you, which you are just so inherently lovable, even if that's not enough to sway him, us saving him will, like, it'll get us a lot of points. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, gotta be the hero. That's what makes
Yeah.
people like you. That's what you taught me. Be the hero.
Exactly. Always. That's how. Then that's what we're worth. That's what we contribute.
Let's go. You head out. Exiting through the back door, stepping out kind of onto the high street, the main street of town. Sun just peeking over the horizon, and you see you see a kind of like mid-range quality car, but like very clearly like a city car, not something that should be in the mountains, absolutely covered with dust, just kind of like really slowly going up and down the street. And I don't think it's light enough to be able to like see into the car that much, but there is a figure in the back seat that you can see silhouetted, and there is the driver who seems to simultaneously be like using an incredibly large map that is like unfolded to like block the entire windscreen, and is definitely like taking his hands off the wheel to look at the map, and then like jerking the wheel to one side to not hit anybody, just kind of wandering through the streets.
Okay, then that's gonna be a just walk out in front of the car and be like, hey, hello, it's just stop there, why don't you?
Okay, we'll do a perception check on him to see if he sees you. He I think you're muted, Ellie.
Can't
Can't hear you.
hear you.
Okay, I'm going to use my
Well, I know
shitty
what that
microphone.
word was.
Oh wait, we can hear you now.
Yeah, he rolls a net one, hits sent right.
Yeah.
Campaign over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Team Rocket style. No, Fish steps out into the street. Kekino kind of looking a little nervously between Fish and the car, and the car swerves a little bit, and then you can see one side of the map like curl up, and then flick back in the brakes. It like stops a little too suddenly, and the window, crank window rolls down. A big piece of map and an arm comes out, and you see Samuel Lee Stillwater. It's like, Fish!
Hey, yeah. Oh, you made it here, all right. I think you
found
picked the
it!
wrong vehicle. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'm all ready to go. Do you want to? Let's swing by and get the others. Yeah.
Yeah, where?
The temple. It's that way.
Up the hill?
Oh well, yeah. No, you're not bringing the car. Just like we'll just go that direction, and I'll go and grab everyone.
Okay. He pulls off to the side, which ends up with him like double parking and like mostly blocking the road before getting out of the car, and you see that much like the last time you saw him, he is wearing clothes that are not his. He is definitely wearing like a suit coat and then an overcoat, and then what you recognize as like a tiara and veil that like one of the bridesmaids was wearing yesterday. As he gets out of the car and is like, oh yeah, I guess we can we can walk. You want to put your stuff in the trunk or
Yeah. Get the door for me.
And as he runs over to do that, pops the trunk, shoves a bunch of stuff to the side, and makes room for your things. You see the figure in the back sort of slide over and pop the door and step out.
Fish is in the middle of saying, "Hey, Sammy, are we gonna have enough room for May and Denya?" Sees the person.
This is a woman you don't recognize. She's sort of medium height, a little bit built, and with a very like not quite a buzz, but like pretty short hair, wearing just like very like normal working clothes, and it as as Samuel Lee is running around putting your things in the trunk, she says, "You're paying for my time. Do you want to teleport to the temple or
Well, it's not extra, is it?
no?
Then yeah.
Very well." And it's like, oh right, yeah, no, I forgot that. Yeah, that. Okay, just hold on a sec, and just steps over, boop, just a blink. You were up the hill. It's kind of like you could have seen that hill in the distance. It doesn't take you like immediately to it doesn't take you like immediately to the door of the temple, but it definitely does take you like 95% of the way there just instantly. And she just kind of like steps off to the side, seemingly entirely uninterested in anything that's happening with you or what you're doing. Very clearly rode up here in a car with Samuel Lee for some reason.
Yeah.
And, not used to driving with someone, let alone someone annoying, up for like 2 hours into the mountains, is completely and totally over his company and having anything to do with whatever the fuck you're doing, is just has this attitude of like, eventually you'll come back and I'll teleport you and I'll be done and I can go home.
Yep. Fish has their sending stone out at this point and has rung up the shared the group chat. So both May and Cal should have gotten a call.
How do you think May and Cal are dealing with their morning?
Cal has gone to find, mostly because I just want to see her, Adrienne, and made sure she's going to be staying very busy during this time.
Okay. As
Also, she would have invited May because I don't think May has met Adrienne yet, and she'd be like, "You were a precocious child. How do I fix
I
this?"
assume.
Yeah.
You give them a gun and a whip and let them do whatever they want.
I think that like May
Yeah,
is
just let
very
her play
like
around the dig
charmingly
site.
has very like charmingly been like, yeah, when I was a child, my parents took me to the dig site, and that's where I learned everything. And she's like, you were a child with a job. How do I fix this child with a job?
Strong rights and a rate of pay.
Juice boxes once an hour.
As you slip your way through the temple, it's early morning, so there are people up and at 'em, but not like that many. Necromancer's mostly operating on a primarily nocturnal schedule, and you kind of having fucked that up, needing to operate in the hours of the rest of the world. You're a little bit out of sync with your temple, which is why you have to rely so much on other people to make sure things run in your absence. You ask directions from some of your members, and are eventually directed to essentially the cafeteria, the dining hall, which is a decently large cavern near the surface that has some like it has a lot of like vent holes, like old air holes, that are being used as smokestacks for like the kitchen now. It's a much larger space than is needed for like the amount of people that you have currently, but it has room for expansion. But the way that means in practice is that right now it's a very large room with only like one corner of it having any like people or materials in. As you go look for Adrienne, you see a lot of necromancers getting what you would think of as their dinner. That is even though it's like kind of breakfast time, are eating quietly. Some of them chatting. You can see that like two or three of them are at a table. They've kind of like spread some like work materials over books and papers and stuff, and are writing sort of arcane notes back and forth, kind of hashing out the structure of a spell. And really off to the side, kind of like away from everyone, is a small girl sitting at a rough wooden table, with a bowl of like muesli in front of her, that she seems to absently be eating while like working on something at the table. And yeah, you go up and you approach Adrienne.
Cal clears his throat and goes, "Pupil Adrienne."
Yes. Immediately like takes the book that you see she had open with her, shuts it, shoves it to the side, turns around and is like at attention.
Cal like gives like one eyebrow to May, like, she's like,
She stands and she's short enough that like her head height doesn't change at all. She like gets off the bench, standing in front of you.
Choi being taller than Adrian while you can, Cal. It's not gonna last long. She's like, well, as you probably have heard, I will be leaving the temple for a potentially week or two. I wanted to see what you intend on working on in my absence. Are you working on your studies?
Give me a perception check with advantage, I think, because May will also be looking with you.
May's like, this is fucking funny.
Yeah. May's like, this brings back memories.
Yes, I think
What-
May.
What kind of knife do you have, small child? He's the kind of knife that I had when I was your age.
Do you prefer a
May
folding knife
definitely
or a straight
remembers
blade?
being like, I am the biggest adult who has ever adulted. And then
Absolutely.
in a couple years, I'll be 13, and then everyone will have to treat me as a grown up. You said perception?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a how does math work? 21.
Okay. That was with
Not bad.
advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. With a 21, you're like, what do you work on while I'm gone? And you look over the table, and what you see is right in front of her is a Go board with a number of like stones that are clearly kind of like homemade. They're not the nice ones, but it's like it's kind of like a homemade Go board. And there is a book open that is like the complete history of strategy and tactics in war or something like that. And you see that it's kind of like dog-eared and like really well flipped through, as she seems to be playing Go, or at least teaching herself Go with herself. You also see pushed away from her a book on shadow work, a book on necromantic theory, like homework. It is covered. There's like an empty like bowl of muesli sitting on it with some stagnating milk. It's got like a ring on the book cover. There's like paperwork that she's just kind of casually thrown on top of it. It's absolutely the vibe of like, I'm doing what I want, but I was starting doing my homework, and that should count for something.
Hey, Patrick, can May do a perception to see if there's any, like, anything she can point out about the Go board that Adrian wouldn't have noticed?
Yes, I would say give me either perception or insight.
Obviously, I'm going to go perception, Patrick. Come now. That is... What do you think I am? Was this a joke to you? That's a 19.
Okay. With a 19, Adrienne is a player who does not see the larger picture. There is very little overall development of like positions, very little like working your enemy into a disadvantageous position, and a lot of focus on like the next big move that changes everything. A lot of like, and I put down this stone and I captured 20 stones, and then the counter move is, well, then I do this and I capture 30 stones, instead of being like, we very slowly develop our positions so that no one's at a strategic advantage. It's kind of that level of being like, I'm not sure entirely you're playing Go correctly, like technically by the rules, but it is absolutely like, to put it in sort of like a chess metaphor, it's like somebody who always goes for the capture, but like leaves their king exposed. You see a lot of like the subtlety is ignored, yeah, you can immediately be like, oh, I can see that you're weak along this flank, and you know, in 3 moves, you're going to get captured over in this area, and like you can point out honestly quite a lot of flaws
Okay, May is going to play to what Adrian seems to be the most interested in, which is a strong offense, make and relate. And May was going to be like, if you move a stone there, then in a couple of turns' time, you could actually capture here.
Adrienne looks at you rather than the board very seriously for a moment, like a like slightly uncomfortable amount of time, and then looks away and studies the board, and then says, "But if I were to do that, I would give up a capture in 2 turns here," and points out like a honestly inferior move that is more like dramatic.
To which May says, well, sometimes you have to make a sacrifice to win the game.
I understand.
The subtle knife, as it were.
She turns and she opens her book and she flips like deeper into the strategy book, and she's got something that she's like referencing. She's like, let's make sacrifices to win the war. Oh yeah, okay.
That is correct. Says so in a book.
Yeah, no, it says so in the book. That's true. As I think May and Adrian is having this kind of crossplay, Cal can kind of like look over at like the necromancer multiplication tables worksheet that is like entirely unfilled. Like question 1 and 2 were done, and then like 3 through 30 are just blank.
Bless her.
Hi, Cleric. I am dedicating myself to understanding our enemies' movements and how to properly defend the temple, as you told me was important.
Kella actually thinks she's addressing May at first because she's been so referred to as Saint or Abbott, and she's like, oh no, that's me, hi. She's like, yes, and it's important to do that, but I do have looks at May and like, please coach me if I need help, and goes, I do have a request for you. We have many enemies.
Strike back at our enemies. I understand that we were attacked at a religious family unification ceremony.
A wedding, yes. The sorcerers called that a wedding. No necromancers were involved in the union. That's an important thing to know culturally.
So is a wedding when it is not necromancers? I understand. Okay.
Well, we have many enemies and people who may be spying on us, and I will be away. And what I want to maintain is if we have anybody looking into our temple or getting reports or anything like that, I just want everything to seem very normal and unsuspicious. I don't want to play my hand on who the players are, and that's one of the reasons that Beliala is very rarely paraded about in her own identity and instead is able to be shadowed upon my own, so people do not necessarily know who my second in command is. So from you, I am looking, instead of any bold campaigns, to keep your head down and make sure you come off as a simple student of the temple.
I understand. We're laying a trap.
Well, hopefully we have no reason to. But if you see anything suspicious, you can report back to me, but you have to make sure that no one will notice that you're noticing. So you must just look unremarkable and diligent in your studies.
It's like this stone right here, Adrian, and may point at like some stone that is in probably Adrian's view, not in a position to do anything. And May says, yeah. And they says, because if you were to move the stone around to here, then here, then here, it draws the out for an attack from a different stone here. And I mean, that stone there, it's in a position to be very powerful, but it can't do it without this more innocent stone's help.
I understand. Hi, Cleric.
Absolutely imperative, I think. Collisionist is trying to say, though, of course, that the distraction stone, as it were, remains safe.
I understand. Hi, Cleric. Who is this?
Yes. Oh, this is a High Cleric Gladly. I would have assumed. I would have assumed you were aware.
Ah, Gladly. I've heard of you.
Only good things, I hope.
Don't do the flirty voice with a child.
You're
Makes
gonna like
it, makes it.
turn slightly to Cal, like, do I tell her only good things, or
Yeah, it's more directed at Cal rather than Adrian.
there's like, I know who you are. Only good things I heard. I hope, and it's like, do I share the full security report, or is that not like socially acceptable? Or just kind of like looking for some feedback here.
Cal goes, High Cleric Gladly is fully in my confidence and a dear friend of mine.
May looks very chuffed. She's very chuffed.
I understand. Then you are a wise teacher, and I need not always keep tabs on your large companion.
May just looks at Cal and raises an eyebrow. Yes, my large companion. No, you don't worry about it. Parted ways. Your talents can be used elsewhere.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions for me, Pupil Adrian?
Let me do a deception check. Nat 20. She starts to turn towards her homework and then stops herself and looks at you and looks at May and says, I can promise you that everything will be normal and our people will remain safe under my watch.
I appreciate that.
And as she says that, she kind of like moves her cloak, her like child size necromancer cloak a little bit, and the like hidden slit that like exposes the handle of her knife. I promise.
May whistles.
I'm outside.
Yeah, Calvin's like, oh, right. All right. Well, that is reassuring. Thank you. I will check back in with you when I return.
I will have a report ready. It was an honor to meet you, High Cleric, gladly.
And the same to you. So what is Cal referred to as? Student?
Pupil or acolyte.
Acolyte, yeah. And the quite the same to you, Acolyte. I would love to play a game of Go with you sometime.
I will sharpen my studies then.
May's eyes flick to Cal as she suppresses, and just nods very seriously.
I think you two are leaving this interaction of being like, you know what? Could have gone a lot worse. We were like, be normal. And she was like, I am absolutely being normal for me. And you were like, okay, well,
Yep.
we tried.
Cal, when they're out of earshot, is like, so is it... Can that be grown out of, or are we just doomed?
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say doomed. You have quite the young person on your hands there. You just got to make sure it's all that is directed.
I feel like she has files with all of our hair categorized.
Look, I would nurture that rather than discourage it, because at least you know what's going on.
I'm not trying to create a serial killer.
I don't think you have to
Okay,
worry
I'll
about
just
that.
leave to get my son without you.
Fine.
Hang
Be
on.
patient. Be patient.
You've seen how bloody big the temple is. We're at least a minute walk away.
Yeah, Cal definitely takes a turn towards the library or wherever Jamal would be at this time instead of going towards the exit.
Please, guys, the teleport is kind of a freak. I don't like just standing here
Okay.
alone.
Charm him.
I don't think that's an option.
What was that? The great fish can't charm somebody.
Cal goes, tisk.
Should we be worried, Collisionus? Seems quite the problem.
They're losing.
They're losing their
I know it's 1955.
Never seen
Would the
fish
phrase
go
losing their mojo be completely anticlimactic?
Losing your mojo was definitely a thing in the 70s. So
Yeah.
It's actually a necromancer term referring to your life.
No, I don't think that was that long enough ago. Yeah, probably.
Referencing Mojo Jojo.
Yeah.
Losing his mojo Jojo.
And so, like, fish in like a sidebar screen, you know, the way that it's set up, like as a composition, like turns over to the like, and camera pans to, you know, show her, and just dead faced, and then, you know, cuts out, return to the scene with.
Yeah. Yeah, Kel's just looking for Jamal. She's like, all right. Especially when you get the fucking pants against the twist. She's just grumbling, like, remember when we had to wait for them so long?
So long, yes, I remember.
And they
Oh,
were
did you?
fucking with their hair.
I think they will actually say to Cal, partly feeling bad for Fish, partly wanting to give Cal maybe the opportunity for an intimate goodbye with Jamal. I will be like, should I leave you to it? We can meet outside. You know, I know how fond farewells can be.
I mean, your last farewell was not too fun.
I've had many fond farewells, Collisionus. That was an outlier.
Do not get over adventurous. I will be just fine too.
Yeah, then May will tag along if Cal's insistent that it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm imagining Adrienne doing the Krieger from Archer thing. Like, I'm not a serial killer. Like, why'd you put a
Yeah.
weird emphasis on serial?
Very good.
Yes, you the library is not like directly on the way out, but it's not like out of your way. You don't have to go deeper into the temple to get there. You see at the doorway to the library, Rousseau is unpacking a box of materials and handing them over to Jamal.
Cal goes, Cleric Rousseau, Jamal, I'm about to take my leave. I just wanted to say goodbye.
Oh, yeah, of course. You need to go rescue Fish's son.
Rousseau does the Puss in Boots cat. Ooh.
Rousseau is like high insight, like instantly something's wrong here. let me see.
Yeah, goes, this is normal. Yes. Well, we'll even see if he still needs a rescue by the time we get there, because I don't think we actually know what is going on. But we have to at least make the attempt.
Do you have an expectation of how long you'll be gone?
I'm aiming for less than a week.
Okay. Um,
But you know how it is. We fall into a ravine. Fish's son hates us, and Fish just made it their mission in life to try and convince them and have bonding time. And we all get captured in a room. A certain entity from another dimension decides to fuck with us.
Yeah.
I tend to be very optimistic about these things, and I tend to be very proven wrong time-wise.
Yeah.
May mouths optimistic.
Russo, like behind Cal's back, looks at me and is like, um. Okay, well, I will keep things running while you are gone, and I will stay by the Sending Stone in case Sinner reaches out and needs help, perhaps, or you can call as well, and
Sorry, go ahead.
hopefully, we can revisit some things when you return.
Yeah, Cal, like, not even expecting the sentence to be very important, is like very diplomatically in a tone that's like, I'll be the bigger person about being like, yes, if Center needs anything, you can provide him with resources, even financially. He did do quite the favor. We can and then when he like registers the revisit thing, she's like, yeah, yes. Nothing pressing, I assume. Just some
No, of course not.
projects.
Just yeah, just we'll talk about it once you get back.
Right. Anything I can do or bring you from looks in a notebook. Colorado?
Corrido. No, I mean, any necromantic books. I don't believe there was ever a temple in that area, but maybe they're floating around. But no, I don't want to. I don't want to distract you from the things you have going on.
You can still read books that are not necromantic.
Oh, I know. It's just they're easier to source. Is the thing.
Ah. Well, all right. Good talk. Goodbye. Very like confusedly like comes up for like a kiss on the, like she like gets up on her toes to try and like kiss him on the cheek.
He allows you to and kind of leans into it, and you see, looks maybe a little melancholy about it, a little sad.
Okay, I'll roll insight at this point.
May's also rolling inside. This is agonizing.
Both Sending Stones. Once again, Fish's voice.
Hello.
Whatever stupid, unimportant shit you guys are doing in there, we have better things to be doing. I can just leave without you.
I do think at this
you
point,
promised you wouldn't.
Fish and Kekano have like walked into the temple and are being like, "I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you and yell at you in person. The phone isn't working."
That's a 19 for me, Patrick.
Down the halls.
It's a 19 for May. What is it for
17
you?
for me.
Okay. Both of you get that something is really wrong. Jamal is upset. Something is hurting
Yikes.
Jamal, and I think both of you realize you don't really have the time to unpack it now, as Fish, continues to yell into the sending stone.
Mm.
Where are you? I think
Yeah,
the
They
Teleporter
burst
teleporter
into the
left.
library at this moment and go, I fucking knew it!
You're having a
talking
makeout
about
sesh.
books. And you were giving me shit for wanting to go immediately, and now that and you said no, we've got important things to do, and now what? Then so we did the fucking fake wedding. We did it. Okay, I stayed, and I didn't abandon you. I didn't abandon you overnight either. I waited, and now I'm here, and now you guys are the ones keeping me.
Why are your human connections the only ones that matter, Fish?
Because I'm the protagonist of the universe.
I think
don't
Russo
even
is-
think that's true!
obvious.
I think when you walk up and start the speech, Russo is genuinely like,
No,
just
no.
backing up when you don't take the hit.
May just looks at them and says, "Oh, the teleporter really was impervious to your charms, weren't they?"
I can't fucking talk to them, okay? They're just here to do a job. This is they're nothing.
Oh my. Cal goes, oh my, they must be very attractive.
Okay, yeah. Hmm. Handsome. Can we go?
Yes, Fish, we can go. Goes and does an awkward pat on Jamal's arm, nods to Rousseau, and then walks out.
By the way, I just want to real quick say, this is just Fish coming and being an asshole. You guys can continue the scene. They're just
yeah,
gonna,
I know.
Nice.
Cal's already at the point where she's like, I have to get Jamal out of the room so I can ask May what's going on with Jamal.
yeah. Everybody knows the best way to communicate is to debrief with another witness.
Yeah.
Very normal.
As you head out, you gather up any kind of materials you need. Get everything together. You head out to the car. Oh, adorable! Oh, look at him! Oh.
Wow. The Cal Fish sign.
I was that's the thought I was having. I was like, yeah.
Looks like you were going to be
approval.
putting a ring on it.
A little sweet
Um,
treat for me.
Wow.
And he bought you something as well.
Yeah, once they get out of the room, Cal like shoulders up to May and is like, do you know what's going on? Is he sad about Sinner? I don't really know who else he has for friends that aren't at this temple that I can call for help.
May just like, I've got no idea. I've never seen him like that before.
I mean, he has to. If it is the Sinner thing, he has to understand my loyalty comes to you first.
Oh, I suppose. I mean, Jamal can just call Sinner. Why wouldn't he just? Oh, fuck off, Rob.
You asked for a mug.
Financial assistance.
Literally what
It's like
you
a
asked.
soup bowl.
Yeah, it is a soup bowl. Sorry, what did Cal say? I was distracted by the ocean.
Offered financial assistance.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't really see what the problem is, frankly.
No.
It's very strange.
Have you haven't noticed anything unusual about Jamal?
Has May noticed something unusual?
I believe you did roll for insight after the cowfish dance. I think.
Yeah, did,
Yeah.
actually.
Was it good, Ink? Do you remember?
I didn't actually go back that far.
No,
I
that's fair.
remember. I can't remember if it was Fish or May, but one of you rolled insight, and you were like, "Jamal looks very sad."
Yeah, no, that was May.
Okay. The question is, does May think this is a good time to say that? You know what? I'm going to do a self-insight, particularly see if the Grey Remnant is like, You should do it.
And why
That's
shouldn't
a
I?
For self insight.
It's a 9. Okay.
Yeah.
I think with a 9, you are not drawing the distinction between yourself and the Grey Remnant, although you are increasingly aware that this is kind of like a separate
Oh,
entity.
I
from
mean,
you.
more like, does the voice whisper to her, going, "Do it"?
I think with a 9, to functionally resist the influence to blow up your party, yeah, you are being like, it's like, honesty is the best policy. When you just like hide things, they just tend to fester. And
Yeah.
like it's
Except
all
for
like,
me, I'm immune to that.
yeah, it's all like phrased in like very positive ways, but it's like,
Yeah.
no. If there's a problem, you need to pick at it immediately.
Yeah. So May says very hesitantly, well, I did notice Jamal looking a little uncomfortable when you and Fish were dancing at the wedding. Not that he ever struck me as the sort of the jealous type, but maybe he has some misconceptions about the relationship you share with Fish.
Cal looks to see if Fish is paying attention to this conversation.
They're doing. They're like a
She was
meter and a
there,
half
but
ahead,
wouldn't
and
have said
just
this.
going like, "What?"
I imagine Fish is like power walking ahead enough to May think if she drops her voice that
Yes,
Fish
yeah.
can hear, but it is still possible that Fish heard if we want to like
Yeah,
roll
May
it
Yeah,
back.
they're looking back to be
Thanks,
like,
you two were
"Are
a
you guys
thing."
fucking coming?"
Yeah.
Okay, I'd say Cal has decided Fish has not heard this, and so she's like, that's Jamal is an intelligent man. He would know that's not like it was a rescue.
No, I know, but speaking from experience, intelligence doesn't often cross over with emotions.
What is he gaining by not saying that to me?
May's heart hurts a little bit, and she's not sure why.
100%. I think May says,
You eat it.
well, he might think that he's being silly, but he's having the feelings anyway. He doesn't want to embarrass himself. But I obviously I don't know Jamal as well as you, so yeah. May said her piece. Doesn't really know what else to add to it. And of course, I know that's not the case, but with like a kind of look of like that indicates her adding right. He doesn't have anything to be worried about, of course.
No. But I don't
Say if
appreciate.
he did. Sorry, go on.
I mean, I hope it's just a momentary period of insecurity, and then he will be over it by the time I return, because I don't want to even entertain that. I feel, I don't know, disappointed and
Tummy feels funny thinking about that.
yeah, and frustrated that Jamal would even entertain that thought when I have made it so immensely clear that,
Fish like catches the end of this, the insecurity part, and goes like, "Oh yeah, when your partner is insecure, the best thing you do is you fucking leave them to sit with it. Let's go."
I'm walking.
I think it is about this point that you're kind of like in the entryway vestibule. If you want to like keep being like, "Oh, this is a private conversation," we'll like stop for a moment. But otherwise, you're getting close to the car. You can sort of hear Samuel Lee and Kekino talking outside.
Yeah, Cal's still hustling, and is also kind of speaking in broader terms now that Fish is in earshot of just being like, well, I hope he gets over it, and I don't like the idea of him being stupid and insecure, and I would have my own problem if this stays. What did you say, Patrick?
I don't like him being stupid and insecure. Wow.
If you're saying that kind of thing about your partner, maybe you just shouldn't be with them. That's just something from my experience.
Yeah. As you exit the entrance of the cave out into the sunlight, you see Kekino and Samuel Lee. Samuel Lee is like, it's like, yeah, and I rescued a lot of them from sort of the chaos, and so they gave me some generous donations, kind of like flicking his suit jacket. And Kekino's like, Samuel Lee, I think that's stealing.
Fish takes the tiara off of Sam and puts it on Kakano.
The like veil like thumps over him, and it's covering him entirely. He goes, give me an insight check for Fish.
Yeah. Not 20! 22!
Two things happen. One,
Yeah.
as you pick up the tiara and put it on Kekino, it's a lot heavier than you expect it to be, and you're like, ha ha ha! Oh, this is real. You put it on, and the
They think
second
about
thing,
the money that that just was stolen off them yesterday. Go.
and that's the second thing. You remember somebody picking your pocket in the smoke screen, and you suddenly turn and go, "Oh, I know who has it." as Samuel Lee is like, "Wait, my tiara! I sold that. I mean, I got that fair and square as a reward for saving people." You know
Samuel
with
Lee.
absolute certainty that Samuel Lee picked your pocket, not recognizing who you were in the smoke because you couldn't see each other, and had in fact been rescuing people and simultaneously stealing from them the entire emergency.
What an
Okay.
icon.
It's time to. We're just gonna deal with that right now. Just, the tiara on Kakano, and then like without looking, just like goes for a grab of the collar and goes, "Where's my fucking money?"
I didn't know I owe you anything.
A question Golf gets a lot.
You owe me what I'm pretty sure you took out of my pocket yesterday in the fucking kerfuffle.
Is there something specific you're missing, or
Yeah, it was.
I
It
think
was like
two-
50 gold.
He is like fumbling in his pocket, pulls out a wallet. There's no bills. It's just like loose gemstones.
Give
Yeah.
me the emerald and I'll cut you even.
If you actually, officially, if you pitch Golf over or Samuel over, he's going to sound like Sonic.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, the rings.
Yes, he passes you a very nice emerald, and you are square. Put your money back to where it was.
Okay, cool. Thank you. It was like 50. But I didn't mark down.
Let me
It's
see what
okay,
you
I can
have
just listen.
now. Yeah, you can go back to the recording and
Yeah,
it.
I'll
It
do
was
that.
somewhere between like 25 and 100.
He won't correct you. Do as high as you can.
I swear it was. I was listening to it this morning. It was
Yeah.
it was like 50.
As you resolve this little financial dispute, while Kekino is like, Dad, it's hard to see. The tiara's like slid down over his eyes. He's like, Dad, it's hard to see, but it sounds like someone's in trouble. Are you okay?
No one's in trouble, baby boy. What? You don't like your veil? You don't like being like Denier?
I can't understand why it's hard for colligionists to see things, and I'm surprised he doesn't trip. But I feel very pretty.
You are
Cal
very pretty.
reaches over and uses like shadows to like fix the tiara perfectly on Kekno's head.
I'm like a princess.
Yeah, and you know what? And you know who'll be really impressed? Henry.
Oh.
Yeah. Who doesn't
Wait,
want to be
we're-
saved by a princess?
Wait, I'm getting that back, right?
No.
I mean, you can borrow it. It's fine.
Perhaps
goes
I'll
reparations.
forget it in the car and you can recover it then.
Yeah, that works. You all suddenly realize you don't see the teleporter as
Yeah,
a
Cal
moment
went to
later.
go like introduce herself to them for sure.
And then she teleports in behind you and just goes, "Are we going?"
Yes, please, please, yes, please.
Is she hot?
Shotgun.
Give me a hotness check.
Is that perception?
Can I
Spatial
give a help
insight.
action on the hotness?
26. That's a 26. May is phrenology style calculating the determine whether or not she's hot.
Forceps out.
Hmm.
You see a woman who is not like hot by traditional standards of the day, but is very butch hot.
Yeah,
Is
so
very
sitter hot.
handsome.
Yeah.
No,
Does she look
not even
busted?
center hot because she doesn't look busted. She's actually
Damn.
decently symmetrical. She's just like you you see a woman who is kind of along the lines of Jesse about being like,
Oh yeah.
God, you go to any of the secret lesbian bars that definitely exist in Canada and you will clean up.
Yeah.
It's a pretty hot woman.
Okay.
Cal is like, thank you for your patience. I am Abbot Denier. Thank you for your patience and your service today.
You're welcome. I am Grillo.
Cal,
Gorilla?
Cal goes, I didn't know women could be teleporters. I think all of the named ones in the books are men.
Yeah.
Trans
There's a
icon. Next
minority of
question.
us. Like to keep it for themselves.
Yeah, I think
No.
Cal actually said, like, it's nice to meet a female teleporter. I know that the field can be very male dominated. Similar things happen, especially in positions of authority for necromancy.
Give me a persuasion check.
Me
she
doing my
persuading?
ye old animation professional. I do face sexism that I do with like female mechanics. Genuinely.
Yeah, no.
You said persuasion?
Mhm.
19.
There are three. Well, yeah, there are four people involved in this conversation with Grilla. Three of them think that she's hot. One of them doesn't. You see her respond to the one that doesn't. As it's like, yeah, I recognize, female teleporter. I don't hear about them. It's like, yes, we is few of us. It usually just kind of like warms up a little bit to Cal. I'll go, God damn it.
Yeah, no, Cal's just like, trying to be polite, getting her trunks in the car, but is talking to her and is being like, yeah, no, we
The
were
car's
thinking.
not here. You're just on a random hill.
Oh, yeah. I was like holding her stuff then, and he's like, I guess looking for the car, and it's like, yeah, no, we're thinking about opening a women in necromancy guild. I've been working a little bit on that. Oh yeah, for the union, is there anything like that?
Not yet. We are trying. There have been some preliminary meetings.
Good. No, if there's the shadow walking and teleportation. I always feel like we have some sort of connection. But it's very disparate, and I understand that there is a lot of prejudice on both sides, and it's just like la 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 talking shop.
It's interesting I read about because necromancer to understanding is teleport is to step temporarily into land between life and death to move location. Teleporter is like other dimension, not really to move between location. Is similar. just like you see her start to like defrost and warm up to just Cal.
Also, Cal is
uh,
also defrosting because every teleporter she's met has like hit on her and been super obnoxious. So she's just like,
Mhm.
and the misogyny from the male teleporters. I'm sure you have to deal with it constantly.
All the time. All time.
Fish like holds, Kekino like kind of up like a parrot and like whispers like, Kekino, go over there and tell Denier how much you want to meet your brother very desperately.
True divorce parenting.
Kekino kind of like comes over, tripping on his veil, being like, Collision, is it time to go? Do you need help with your bags or anything? Krilla is just like, oh, of course. Everyone come close, and you just in an instant teleport to the car. You put your stuff in the trunk, get all set, and as you all sit in the car, Grilla now getting into the passenger seat, the car starts shaking around you, and you can see Grilla concentrating for a moment before the whole car disappears, and very suddenly you find yourself in a little wooded road, far from where you were before.
Cal does a polite golf clap.
Thanks. Yeah.
She just gives a small nod. It looks like it definitely took something out of her. Like it was difficult. But she steps out of the car, and so does Samuel Lee. And she walks over, pulls out a little like pocket knife, and kind of carves a big X on a pine tree. You can see. And
This is where we parked.
Everyone remember
yeah,
the pine tree.
and
Pine X.
yes, and it is like instantly way darker. Like you were in kind of like first hour of sunrise, and now suddenly it's pitch black, and you know that you've traveled, a decent distance. She walks up to you and says, "Yeah, something interferes with teleporters beyond the tree with X. So if you want to teleport out of here, you need to pass beyond this point."
Understood. We've dealt with similar issues before.
I've never dealt with anything like this before, personally. It's very strange.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. You stay safe and don't go too far into town. All right.
She goes, bitch, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so she goes, "No, contract is finished. You call the sanctuary. Sanctuary calls me. I pick up. I have other work."
Cal goes, do you have a personal card?
Yes. She pulls out.
They both go. What?
She pulls out a little business card. It's got a phone number, not like a Sending Stone contact or anything like that, but like a personal phone number where you can get her. It's Gorilla, last name I'm not going to come up with, at the
Warfare.
German division of the Guerrilla Warfare. Yes, Guerrilla Warfare at the German branch of the Union of Teleporters, and she gets out of there, grabs Samuel Lee, who is like, "Fish, remember, if you just leave it in the car," and is gone.
May leans over to Fish and says, "Do you think he prefers propane or charcoal?"
That's a really good question.
Because her name is Gorilla.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going with
Yes.
coal. I'm gonna go
You're
with
also
coal.
making a reference to a different D&D game.
I know.
Oh, I don't know that one. I got the grill.
Yeah. May is going to roll for cartography to remember this exact spot. how to get
Yep.
back here.
Yeah, give me a cartography check.
Yep.
Grilla is German for cricket, which is her name. Is it a little bit of a dainty name for a not particularly dainty woman.
Cal takes out like one of those like fancy little business card holders and like flips it and looks a little prim and smug at Fish.
Yeah.
What, like it's hard?
And it's like, oh well, if she likes you, then of course I'm not going to be able to charm her.
I thought you could charm anyone.
It is demonstrably not true, Denier.
Maid points at herself, then points at Cal.
We're both your friends. I would say that's a rousing success, seeing as we both find your personality obnoxious.
Thanks. That's really nice of you to say.
That's a dirty 20, Patrick.
Okay, with a dirty 20, you are looking at the lay of the land around here and kind of getting your bearings. You are checking kind of the angle of the sun and the quality of light coming over the horizon, and you're like, okay, that means we traveled about this much latitude west, so it does put you in about something parallel to Colorado if you're not actually technically in Colorado, although you would assume you are. You look at kind of the nature of the area. It is where you are right now is the start of like pine thickets. It's just a forest kind of as far as the eye can see, but down below, kind of a little way from you, the ground's sloping away. It gets a little flat and a little prairie-like. And in the way up the road in the direction of the X, you see it climbing and then suddenly start climbing a lot steeper, as it looks like you are heading into kind of low mountains as the pine forest gets deeper and thicker. I'll also say with cartography, you can see that this is like a dirt road that is, decently well maintained. Definitely not like a rural backtrack. It's something that is used pretty regularly. But as you look at it, you can see. Actually, because you got a dirty 20 on the cartography, so I think you are looking for very specific features of the land and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, give me a survival check with advantage.
Ooh. Give me a second. I actually have no idea what my survival is. 13.
Okay. With a 13, you're looking at this road, which you're the only car on. It's first thing in the morning. This is clearly a rural road. That's not surprising. You can see in the distance like little flashes of headlight as like down below there seems to be a more major kind of road or highway that every once in a while a car goes past. So you're not that far off the beaten path. You're just very clearly like away from big cities, it seems like. But you're looking at this road that you now have to drive up, and you're seeing that like it very clearly was well maintained. Low kind of like grasses and scrub have started growing in the road, like it suddenly wasn't being used anymore and is starting to get reclaimed by nature. Like it very much a road that was used regularly maybe until recently.
Yeah, I think May says as much. Has Ink remind me, has Fish told them anything about what they might be walking like in terms of the town being possessed?
That Jonas is, they believe, has taken over the entire town.
Okay, so May knows that.
I also believe that Fish got a map from of where the town was from
Gove?
Have
Yeah.
you given or shown that map to May?
No, but doing so now.
Yeah. Then I think May can, with a dirty 20, can line up the features and see pretty conclusively where you are. It looks like the kind of lowlands area that you're looking out into with sort of the major roads is technically over the border into Wyoming. You're in this strange borderland between Wyoming and Colorado, and as you're looking up deeper into the mountains, you can kind of line it up on the map and see that you're in a pretty sparsely populated area of mountains and forests in like northern central Colorado, where like major cities are not technically that far away. You think maybe like a 2-hour drive at most, but this area is very geographically isolated because it is sort of cupped by the mountains. And what you're looking at is, you think you are on this kind of main road that goes into Cedar Falls. That there does seem to be, at least on the map, in rural areas, maps are not necessarily 100% accurate. There can be a lot of tracks and little roads that are not mapped. But you can see that it connects a major highway and just sort of snakes up the mountain. There's a couple of little branches that shoot off and go deeper into the mountains. Some of them little towns that are very small. Maybe they don't even exist anymore. Maybe they don't exist since this map was made. But the sort of like the big town in the area, if it is even big enough to be called a town, it's in UK parlance, it would be a village of Cedar Falls, is sort of where this road sort of dead ends. And you don't see like any other ways kind of like in and out, obviously, on the map. It's just kind of, this is the way up the mountain and also the way into the communities in this area, which includes Cedar Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. May points out that the road hasn't been traversed consistently, at least, in a while. And then suggests that we maybe walk off this road parallel to it and fall in, so no one immediately see us. Only because there's no obvious other ways into the village, but we also don't want to be immediately clocked and come in the main entrance.
Yeah. And this is an in-character discussion I want to have, not an out-of-character one, even though it sounds like it should be one. Fish goes to May, like, all right, yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. But also, May, do you think it might be a good idea to try and connect with Henry before we go in there? Or is that running the risk of Jonas, like, anticipating us?
Fish says this like aloud to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Akella is like, unfortunately, I cannot recall any point we've ever caught Jonas by surprise, and I don't think that's going to start now.
When we met?
I guess he didn't realize he was going to be awoken by a bunch of completely out of their depths sorcerers. Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I think May says, well, if we're not going to catch him by surprise, it might be useful. Even if it's just a sense of where Henry's being held.
Yeah, and to let him know that I'm on my way.
Yes. It is a
All right,
shame that we can't bring the car.
Yeah.
You can drive up with the car.
But May was like, "Let's be sneaky."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a tactical decision rather than a practical one.
Yeah.
It's just also like May's also looking at this map and being like, okay, so is the hike gonna be like 2 miles or is it gonna be like 15 miles? You know, what are we looking at here?
That too.
And I think you see that it is kind of like, I think you do see that you would be pushing it. Like, you can absolutely hike this distance. It would just leave you kind of tired by the time you get to town. You could drive. You think, depending on, what kind of, what kind of security Jonas has, what kind of, watch posts he has or whatever, you think you can probably drive a little bit, into a little ways up the road and then kind of pull off, hide the car, and hike in and save yourself a little distance. Although obviously that does have more risk to it than just hiking from here. But also, as you're kind of like comparing distances with that dirty 20, I think you realize that the area of disturbance for teleporters is like twice the size of what was in the ruins. It's just that you are closer to the edge of it, and so is the town than when you were coming before. When the others hiked to the ruins was the dead center. From what Guriela described to you, Cedar Falls is like not the dead center of the teleporter dead zone. It's somewhere beyond that. But it is a larger dead zone because of it.
Okay. With the Root Warden flash that gave me a sense of what the vibes are around the world, did anything line up vaguely here? I know it's likely just Jonas doing his thing, but I'm curious.
There is you got a flash of something that was not in this general area, that was like south a ways by quite a bit. There was nothing in this general area that sort of like piqued that interest. Now, for the Root Warden connection, it's like, well, was that like currently active sites at the time the message was left? Maybe there were things developed afterwards, or maybe things before that like became defunct. Who knows? Or maybe this is a factor not inherently unique to ancient, research stations. Maybe it's just an ancient technology that they had, and therefore it could be a ruin that's not associated with the Root Warden or something. You just you don't know. You don't have enough information. You are working with incomplete information.
Yeah, that's fine. Just curious.
Speaking of incomplete information,
this is an idea of like the kind of terrain you're going through, by the way.
Christ. Let's have a look then.
my question is, has May brought the staff?
That is a very.
I don't think she would have. I don't think she would have, because she doesn't really want to risk. That is a really good question. I feel like I could go either way.
Has she brought something to appease Jonas? Perhaps I'm just, throwing questions.
It's also like now that
Is it her body?
now that Sinner is on the run and Cal's not staying in her temple, is there?
Oh no, that's true.
As May is getting more and more paranoid, is there somewhere safe she would be willing to leave it?
That's a really good point. Not here, at least, as in like the temple. Unfortunately. Okay, yeah, she would have brought it with her somehow.
Why up her ass?
May, when did you start carrying a sword?
Oh no, it's not actually a sword. It's just a sheath, but it's got a thing in it.
Yeah,
it's my club.
it's like a berserker sword.
It is kind of like a wrapped package on your back. It's like it's like Ray's staff or something, just kind of on your back. You're not answering questions about it.
Yeah, me as the player, I hate that she's got it with her, but unfortunately, I don't think she'd risk it. Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are like, and Samuel's like, "What's on your back, May?" And she's like, "My fanciest jacket."
Yeah.
And yeah,
Actually, she would have said something from the Isle of Nunya, and then patiently wait. Him just saying, "Where's Nunya?"
Cal just pictures the like grubby little girl that was in the dig sites and was like, "Oh my god, they do never change."
Yeah.
Daniel Lee is
Yeah.
like, it's been a lovely weekend in Nunya, and May's like, wait, what?
No, Samuel, yeah, he wouldn't fall for it. He'd just be like, ah.
Yeah. How are you getting to town?
I reckon
Well,
driving part way, maybe, if it's.
Can we
Sorry, go on, Ing.
do a pass without trace on a car?
No. Thank you for asking.
Why?
Why not?
Car is my companion. Are you telling me Samuel Lee doesn't name his car?
It's probably not his car. It's probably a sanctuary carpool, but yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay,
doesn't
but how
name
does his
every
stuff
car
isn't
that he
his
borrows.
stuff?
He goes, "I'm going to call you Jerry."
However, we're going in. Fish wants to stop and have a moment to do a meditation to see if they can reach out to Henry at all.
They
you
they
wanna
do
do
it
that
well when he's
first and-
driving, and the road is so bumpy that they.
Henry, I'm going to rescue you.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to do that on the way, or do you want to like do that and then see if that determines how you're moving
Would-
forward?
A pass without trace on the passengers in a car make people more inclined when they look in to be like, this is not interesting.
I think yes, but there is the thing about being like, is a car being somewhere notable in and of itself, or is it
Yeah.
the passengers of the car?
Yeah, I think Cal would probably come up with that and being like, look, I kind of like the idea of having cars for security and mobility, but do we think that it would be such a novelty and a concern that a car would be coming into town, or do you think instead they would be more inclined to keep up the ruse of just being a normal town and therefore treat us just like tourists?
Yeah, like one of those old CIA training towns. Deal. Someone gets really pissed because they got to serve us a coffee.
Depends on if they know or care who we are.
And,
In that
now
case,
I'm
I
leaning
do.
back towards walking.
You do
Yeah.
know that there are normal people in town, at least according to your visions through Henry's eyes. Now, does that guarantee anything? Not necessarily, but
So
like,
he's just paranoid as fuck and thinks
Yeah.
it's everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if that's the
Right.
vibe, Cal is so inclined to paranoia that she'd be, and also Maid's going to be more inclined to paranoia that I think they would all come to the conclusion
Yeah.
of let's just walk.
Yep.
Yeah, let's
Well,
do it.
then Fish is going to sit down first.
okay. Give me a. What kind of check do I want this to be? Give me a insight or arcana check.
Okay. I do have a question, which is the Eldritch thread of seeing where one person is. Would that work on Henry? Because he's in the list of people that it would work on, but since they haven't technically met, would it not be functional yet?
It is familiar with. I think you could make the argument that like Henry is not familiar with you, but you are familiar with Henry. So I do think that would work.
Okay. Arcana
So,
or
yeah,
insight?
if you want to use that power instead to be like physical location or in addition to, you're welcome to do that.
I think I'll do both.
Okay.
Yeah. And I will roll Insight has the modifier on it, but Arcana, like, we want magic. It's a magic thing, so that's what I think that it should be rolled as. Thoughts, feelings?
For Arcana?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Arcana.
Okay, cool. 13.
Okay, 13. With a 13, you sink into yourself. And reach out in this place of connection, this kind of web of threads in front of you, touching the one that you've come to associate with Henry. You see some shadows around it, some strange, almost spiderweb like corruption around it. As you follow that thread, you reach out and try to connect with him. With a 13, you find that, much like a spider web, the closer you get and the more you push and struggle, the harder it holds you, the more it pushes back. And for just a moment, you feel like you can connect with him. You feel the rhythms of your heart sync up. You can feel him breathe. You can feel that he is alive and a bit uncomfortable. But speaking mind to mind, looking through his eyes, his viewpoint, something is restricting you. Something is holding you back. And with a 13, as you push, you feel it start to tear, but not fully, as you cannot quite force your way through. Do you use your consult the threads abilities?
Yes.
As you read the threads, you almost like a third person view of Henry happens to you in this moment. You see him curled up on a very hard looking metal bench pressed against a concrete wall. And as this sort of like disembodied viewpoint sort of floats up, you see a police station. It is near the center of town. And you can see some other people moving around, although you can't quite focus on them, just the sense of movement. And you can pinpoint him in your mind in the police station in Cedar Falls, which is, again, sort of in the center of town. As you come back to your body, you get just a vibration, as if because his defenses are down, he seems to be asleep or unconscious in this moment. You just get a resonance of sadness, but also sort of resignation, as if he always expected it to end this way, as you come back to yourself on the mountainside.
Fisher reaches out to May holding the map that they gave her and, like, finds the police station on it and goes, that's where he is.
The level of detail of the map is not such that you can pinpoint it with that accuracy.
Okay.
It's one of those in between maps where it's kind of like a map of North Colorado and southern Wyoming. So
Okay.
the towns are like a little more detailed than just a dot with a name, but are not like full maps. But you can say he's right here and like point to where he is physically.
It's just a regular zoomed out map, and Fish points to Cedar Falls and goes, he's here. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, we knew that.
Wait, so we're
Yeah.
saying that there is no way of being like this. He's at the police house.
No, you don't. You cannot express these at the police house, or you
Damn.
can't point.
Okay,
that
well,
that
Fish
is the
uses
police
their
house.
words then and goes, he's at the police station.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I had a joke I wanted to use. Can I do a read the room check?
I think that'd be insight.
Yeah.
Sure. What are you trying to
Good.
glean?
I'm trying to glean how inappropriate it would be for Cal to make a mean joke right now. That's a 12.
Fish is
It's
trying
business time.
trying desperately to find connection with their lost son and attuning themselves to his pain and discomfort. May is watching the tree line like enemies are going to come running out of it at any moment. A hand clasped protectively around the object on her back with one hand, with her other hand resting on the butt of a gun. And you think, I mean, yeah, it could be. We could use some humor here, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cal goes, like father, like son.
Good
What?
evening. I'm not sure that's okay.
What's it supposed to mean?
You know what it's supposed to mean?
Craziness. I think maybe no on that.
I was not making any terms of judgment. I was just saying. Cal's like, May, did I make a funny joke?
May, up top. Don't leave me hanging.
May's like,
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I am. I hate this, but I am having a moment of like I don't understand the joke, and as a result,
He's in the police station, just like Fish.
Just like Fish deserves to be.
Yeah.
okay, all right, no,
it's a bad boy
Fish
doing
would pick
bad
up
things.
on that immediately. Yes, no, the response is exactly the same, except Fish understands. He goes, "What's that supposed to mean? You know what it's supposed to mean?" It's like, they're a kid. He's a kid. He's a kid.
Yeah, May goes, and Cal goes, what the I apologize
He's
for
19 years old.
overstepping.
He's practically a fetus.
Yeah.
Dare you.
Well,
He's a
remember how tiny
baby.
May was when we met her? He's smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cal goes, I apologize for overstepping. I forgot his age. It's difficult to remember the immaturity.
Okay, well, think about it like this, Danielle. If it's a joke that you wouldn't make about Kakano, don't make it about Henry.
Cal ponders on that. Cal goes, I mean, that's a special relationship with Kakano, but alright, fine.
Fish removes the tiara from Kakato's head and the veil to go with it, and smooths out his little head and gives it him a kiss. It's like, and then chucks it in the back seat of the car.
No, I want to be a princess. I want to rescue Henry.
No, we can come back and we can show him later. Okay, once we're out of
Okay.
here.
Okay, Dad. That sounds good.
Yeah. It's just so that we can see your beautiful face and we know where you are at all times.
Okay. Well,
Back me
I'm
up.
here. I'm here because I'm gonna be with you forever. So
Yeah.
you know where I am.
Run up on my shoulder.
Okay. And yeah, do you want to drive partway in, or do you want to hike the whole way?
I'm going for hiking now.
Yeah, like
Cal's gonna, they're gonna walk, and Cal's gonna cast pass. Wait till cast pass with Trace once they start feeling like civilization-y.
Then I'd say give me 2 group stealth checks. The
Mhm.
first one flat, and the second one with the +10.
oops.
Oh yeah, I've got my.
Yeah,
Pretty sure I have my thingy. Yeah, my armor.
18 for the first one.
I'm doing it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Also, is Cal in adventuring gear?
She's in like That's a great question. I think she's in normie wear, but like you know how like when you're in winter wear, because I'm assuming it's gonna be pretty fucking cold in Colorado in January. But you know when you're in winter wear, it kind of gives, especially women in the 50s, an excuse to look a little more prepared for the elements and adventure and a little more mobile. So you know, she's probably in a jacket, maybe a cute little like aviator jacket, May picked out, and probably wearing pants for the first time any of you have seen her.
It's insane. Fish is going insane.
Fish is like, don't look at her ass. Don't look at her ass. You're on a mission.
Yeah.
What did Fish get for the stealth checks?
18 for the first roll, and for the second roll, 13.
Second
Okay.
roll, 21.
Okay.
Good job, Ellie.
Yes.
That also a very big difference in your first and
Yep.
second.
As you are hiking up the mountain, it takes quite a while. You decide that it's safe enough to take the road for the first part, or at least it is safer than kind of breaking your own trail, because the woods are pretty thick, and you're at a point where it's really up and down if you leave this road. So you think if you don't get lost, you are definitely risking kind of twisting an ankle or taking a long time having to backtrack when a route is blocked. But as you're heading through, you're quiet enough that you can start to see the wildlife of the area. A lot of deer, a bear at one point crosses your path, and
Fish asks the bear, have you been seeing fucked up spirits going near town?
You have to translate concepts of being like, town is people place. Have you seen like poisonous things near people place? The bear communicates to you people places.
I personally
always...
think that P speech should just make it be fluent, but okay.
No, it's a issue of like concepts rather than communication.
The bear is not smart enough to have a complete
Yes.
vocabulary.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
not the bear's intelligence.
If you
not
talk to
Fish's
a dolphin, the
communication
dolphin would be like, "What's a remnant? Okay, got it." Or
Yes.
not. Yeah.
ability. No, a dolphin would say, "What is a remnant? Can I sexually abuse it?" Okay. Yeah, bears are not super smart. The bear essentially communicates to you that the town is always dangerous, but something very weird is happening, and
Yep.
that it avoids it. It is here right now because it takes the long way around the north side of town, because there is stranger things happening, and it's like giving it a wider berth. And
Yeah,
north side of
and-
town is kind of where this road dead ends.
Okay, so north side of town, Fish passes that on to main Caligulus, and then is like, "Thank you, bear. Keep clear."
The bear kind of shakes its shoulders and wanders off. I think a deer comes past, and you're like, "Hey, deer, is there any danger here?" And the deer goes, "Ah!" and runs away.
I like the idea that the bear didn't try to eat us. It was just like man to man, respect.
Yes.
Um,
we're just ships passing in the forest.
Yeah, I mean, it was a black bear, which that is accurate. If it was a grizzly bear, it would have probably tried to eat you anyway. That's the difference between the for the Australians. Black bear is the one where you're like, you get big and scary, and it goes, I don't want to deal with that, I'm gonna run away. And the grizzly is when you play dead and just hope it's not hungry.
Yeah.
Noted.
The grizzly is one of the overpowered cards in Inscription that you just can't get past.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Makes sense. Also, the grizzlies are the ones that you can climb a tree to escape, and black bears can climb trees even easier than people can, so that doesn't work.
Jesus.
But,
Yes, this is things that we have to learn in California, because it's not like bears are common, but if you go into any sort of mountain, that's like, know your shit.
Yeah, you know your shit. Bears are still around. Bears are not common. They are around. And then you know.
Well,
once you get
good.
into
They were there
mountain lions,
first.
Yeah.
no, it's true. Also,
There's a bear on our flag.
There's a bear on our flag. It is actually an extinct kind of bear called the California grizzly. That was the largest. I think the largest bear in North America in the modern age that we hunted to extinction. But it was like, yeah, no, they were pretty much all killed off because like grizzly bears are like dangerous, but they have their space and we have ours, and that's fine, and we leave each other alone. California grizzlies were famous for being like, if you set up a town in a California grizzly territory, first all your livestock will disappear, then your children will start disappearing, and eventually someone checks on you and there's just eaten remains. They were man killers. They were huge. In the modern age, they could tear apart a car like it was a tin can. They were enormous and scary.
Either May is sharing all of these bear fun facts.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. May is probably sharing these bear fun facts. Every once in a because the mountains of California are still very very rugged, and California grizzly bears technically were still in the Rockies and like other states too. Every once in a while, a hiker will run into a bear that people are not sure is a California grizzly. We think they're extinct. We're not 100% sure.
Well, they sound like serial killer bears, so
yes, we think the
I hope so.
We think the existing specimens have like crossbreeded with regular grizzlies, and therefore there may be like still some super bear specimens in California.
They're only half Californian.
Yeah. No, they're half Californian. They're born and raised in Nevada, but they transplanted young, so they've been in California the last 20 years.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. You go through hiking, and first you're seeing a lot of just kind of wildlife. Eventually you start going off the beaten path and taking more direct routes to town, cutting across some little ravines and mountains that are like too steep of a grade for a road to go up, but May with her cartography is like, we can cut through there, that's not too bad of a hike, and that'll save us some time on the road and also get us off the road. You start to notice that while they're not actively manned, you see places that are just kind of like a camouflaged tarp under some brush with like a little stool by the side of the road. Like clearly watch points or points for someone to check in. And as you get closer and closer to town and the sun starts to rise, you slow down, quiet down. Cal wraps her shadows around you, and you start seeing movement. Things are rushing to and fro, breaking through the underbrush and snuffling on the ground. And you think that they could be animals, but animals don't act like this. There's too much purpose to it. Too much of a guarding-like behavior, almost like they're on patrol. And as you sneak through with your very high stealth checks, managing to evade the Watcher's perception checks, you see that some of them, as one kind of crosses over a ridge framed by the dawn light. They're not all the same size and shape. One of them that you see silhouetted looks like it may have been human or was made along a human pattern. And as you start to hike in, getting closer to town, sun now all the way up in the early morning, is when you start to see the people. People walking through the woods, most of them armed in some way, in pairs and in threes. You also manage to avoid them. As you reach the edge of the town, although it's not really an edge, town sort of fading into existence among the trees rather than having a hard border. You start passing by some cabins and some distant houses. They all seem abandoned. As you sneak through this area, a group perception or investigation check may be warranted.
Do we all have to do perception?
The
Or
group.
No, you can mix and match. I just want everybody to make a perception or investigation check and tell me your number.
cool. I have a +6 to investigation, so I'll do that one.
Fucking nat 20 investigation +4.
Nice.
Where's my
Jesus.
son?
I only got a 9 investigation, so thank you, Fish, for carrying.
Fucking hell. Right, yes, perception for me now. I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Hold on.
As you are moving through the forest, there is a time when these human guards, whatever they are, start to close in accidentally. You know they haven't seen you, but they're just moving in such a way where, you know, you've pushed through a thicket of bushes. You know it'd be too loud to push back in. You think maybe if you can keep this cabin you found between them and you can avoid detection. And that means stopping in the cabin for just a moment and looking around. Cal is focused on the Watchers. She's looking at these people that are walking through, and how they seem to be paying close attention to their surroundings, not the look of sort of bored human guards. While the rest of you duck into this building and hide, and you see a small house. It is rustic in the way of somebody used to kind of, you know, doing things their own way. You know, maybe there's a big deep chill freezer full of deer, full of venison. You know, someone who kind of like lives off the land to a certain extent. You know, no like phone line here or anything, but close enough to get electricity off the grid. As you're looking around, the two of you see a couple of things. The first is that no one is here, and no one has been here for a little while. You can sort of see by the dust accumulation, the kind of marks on the knob that someone was living here pretty recently, and maybe about 2 months or so ago, you think, especially with that nat 20, about 2 months or so ago, it seems like somebody stopped living here. And then as you move into the little kitchen with a small table, you can see, you first hear the flies, and then you can see the bowl of soup knocked over that started to rot, the chair overturned, the two of you can track the drag marks as someone was grabbed and forcibly removed from this house. Again, maybe about 2 months ago. It occurs to you with those investigation checks that a secure perimeter cannot exist in an area where people live. And therefore, if people need to be removed in order to create a secure perimeter, that may happen. Whoever lived here has been taken. What happened to them, where they are now, don't know. But
Yikes.
you do know that somebody came in here with force and removed them. And as you examine closely the back door, where it seems like they entered, you see a boot print by the shattered lock, as if someone kicked the door down, and also claw marks.
I would like to do a death sense.
Okay. As you do a death sense, first of all, a lot of meat in this house, a couple of hunting trophies, definitely some dead non-human bodies. You don't get the sense that anyone died here within the last month, which I think is the limit of death sense. I just double check that. 14 days, so not even a full month. You don't think anyone has died in this house in the last 14 days. There has been a animal that was, as far as you can tell, tore apart not too far from the house a couple of days ago. And you are not, even at a quick glance, you don't see any like physical evidence of that. The blood has run into the soil, bones and flesh have been eaten or removed, but something violent happened to an animal not that long ago here. And you can probably get some like faint traces of blood in and about the house that you don't think was lifeblood, that you don't think caused death. So
Alec kneels down to cover Kekno's ears if she explains the animal got ripped apart. And also, when you were like, oh, there's lots of meat, animal bodies, animal death, I was like, it would be so funny if you were like, yeah, this guy was a cannibal, but that doesn't seem
entirely
relevant to the
separate from
story, so
everything
Cal
that
doesn't
happened.
mention
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There is, as you examine things, you are getting some human remains from the freezer. You move away the venison, and right at the bottom is just a woman's hand with a wedding ring, and you're like, we don't have time to get into that. You can tell it's been there for years, and you're like, well, anyway, moving on.
Since she'll complain, I'm distracting them.
Yeah. Fish is like recounting to Cal and May like that from the visions that they believe that everyone in town is immortal, and has from what it looks like outside, Henry was certainly perceiving everyone as like changing into monsters and such. There is a decent chance that all of these people are just like kind of just regular people that have been corrupted and converted, that kind of thing. This isn't them saying, so let's not kill anyone. Absolutely not. They're just saying it to have said it.
Yeah.
FYI.
But like, if we gotta kill our way through, we're absolutely going to kill our way through. I don't care if she used to be the town dentist, like what whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, May's fine with that.
Yep.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay. Then as you leave here and continue to hike your way into town, you have started crossing actual roads that have been cut, first dirt roads and then starting to get paved. Houses are becoming more and more common, and as the morning gets a little deeper, there is this time when you get into the security perimeter where there's no one, nothing you see. And then after a while, you start seeing people moving around in the distance. As far as you can tell, going about their lives. You can start hearing the sound of people waking up and heading off to work, maybe.
Well, if these are the people who are like, continuing the facade of a normal CIA town, and we've already gotten past the guards, then perhaps it's time to just saunter on in. Can we sit to the sidelines and watch and wait for a second to see what it looks like?
Sure. Absolutely. I think now that you have hiked in, it has been long enough that Pass Without Trace probably has ended, unless you're going to cast it again. But you can absolutely just take a moment to kind of observe what's happening as you kind of like walk a little bit deeper into the town. You are very much on like the outskirts of it right now. You're not kind of in the downtown so far. It's mostly kind of like larger residential properties that you're kind of walking past, but you can see like some taller buildings coming through the trees, kind of a downtown area. You can start to hear cars, and you can see people, through windows, people in their kitchens. You can see people on their stoops chatting with each other, things like that. You can sort of disguise yourself socially as you start to approach. And in that case, I will say, if Cal does not want to cast Pass Without Trace again, you can either give me a stealth check or a performance check, and I think everybody has to agree on one or the other, because if somebody's trying to act normal and the other is trying to not be seen, it becomes inherently more suspicious.
Yeah, yes.
I have 6 spell points left, just so you guys know. So I'm willing to
Okay,
do
thank
another
you.
one.
I won't ask you to at this time. We may try and blend in. Fish is, thinking strategy and like freeball discussing it with the ladies. So we're gonna figure out how many cops there are in town, basically. See if we can create a distraction. I go in there, we get Henry out, and it has just occurred to me that that's the extent of the plan, but it feels
As
like
I'm
a
saying
good
it,
one.
I realize there's no next step, so...
Yeah, no, the plan really is just like you kind of just like we're hoping to walk in there and then walk back out.
Get in, get out, boss.
Yeah, I understand that this will be difficult. But
Patrick, let me know if I need insight for this. Is this a small enough town where somebody who is not a resident would be immediately obvious?
Let me see.
Because that's a big, big difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Does everybody in town know each other? Because if so, we're kind of cooked.
everyone knew Henry.
Yeah. But there are towns where that can be a thing, while simultaneously you don't know what your neighbor 2 doors down looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that if you give me a insight or nature check, you would be able to determine that. I think Cal's like experience with small towns is enough that she can figure that out.
That's what I was thinking, that it was actually realistic to ask, because she's grew up and currently lives in a small town. And is hyper aware that everyone knows what she looks like. Damn it. That's only an 8.
Which one did you choose?
Oh, wait. Yeah, it's a 9 for insight.
Okay. With the 9, for insight, this is a small town in kind of the mountains. You do think that like this place looks, maybe large enough that not everybody knows everybody, but probably people mostly know each other at least by sight. You'd with an 8, with a 9 rather, you don't really get the sense of like how common strangers are here or how accepted they are.
Cool. Do I get any sense of if this is an all-white town?
With your 9,
It's the 50s, so it's going to be one or the
So-
other, isn't it?
It would be so funny if we walked in town and they'd be like, "You must be Henry's son. You're the only colored guy I've ever seen." You're Henry's dad, I should say.
Yeah, and Fish would be like, yes.
as a 9, looking out on town at a town, just looking at, just glancing at people. There's a lot of white people here. You don't think it's all white. You're seeing some color around.
That's at least reassuring.
And I think
Yeah.
with a 9 you can't like draw more conclusions than that from what
Yeah.
you're seeing. But yeah, no, it's not 100% white. It's probably majority white.
Yeah, well, Cal's like, well, I mean, I'm not sure how comfortable I am with. I'm assuming Fish was like, yeah, we'll just come in. We'll be cool. We'll be breezy.
Yeah.
We won't sneak around. And Cal's like, I don't want to have to immediately field questions about why we're in town, who we are, where we're from. I feel like this is not a booming enough town to have 3 new faces come in and no one be curious.
So do you want to split up?
4 new faces, Kekino says.
And the dog. The dog, they might be more interested or less. I'm not really sure.
Maybe I could ask people questions?
No.
Not right
Oh,
now,
okay.
sweetheart, no.
Cal says, I mean, if we split up, we run into a potential problem like whatever town we were in for the second dawn, where everyone is captured and I'm running around trying to figure
Trying
to
out
save
what the hell to do.
Again. Everybody can.
It's time to break out the old here to do some travel writing. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah? And is that your massive tripod you're carrying on your back?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you notice?
Beatrice Gallagher, crack photographer.
Wow.
Tell
I
us
know
we
you
have
were
to
a
go back to the
photographer
movie
too. That's
thing.
great.
I'm a woman of many talents, Kekano.
Yeah,
So
I
many.
know.
Many
but
talents,
me as a
many
player-
names. That's the way that it's got to be, boy.
But yeah, if you guys want to do the performance or stealth check, I will then allow you to essentially do like perception checks to see kind of more what's going on.
Yeah, Cal doesn't want to split up, mostly because I don't want to split up, but also because she
Nor
has
do I.
trauma from
Yeah.
that one time. So she's just like, look, if we are going to come in, then we have to have like a story prepared. And I don't know if you want to try and cover up your tattoos or something like that. I don't think she necessarily thinks that like, oh, it's such a small, because her site is that, oh, it's such a small town, they're going to be obsessed with us, but just being like, they're going to be interested. And I don't want that.
From like a player perspective, I'm leaning towards stealth only because I've got the advantage on stealth rolls. But I do have a +5 to performance, so feasibly I can go away.
I think, as Cal, she would be very much inclined to do stealth. As a player, I think it's probably going to be more fun to do performance.
Sure.
So I'll go either way.
I think Kekino.
It really does come up to Fish, so therefore, because I think both May and Cal would completely be like, "It's your fucking mission."
Yeah, it's your show, and I do
If
think
you do anything super stupid, we'll stop you. But anything that has like pros and cons, we're gonna completely let you decide.
And I do
Yeah.
think Kekino is like, Cloydinus, you can hold my leash like you're walking me, and maybe that'll help.
then people will come up and be like, "Can I pet your dog?" And I'll be like,
And we'll say no.
No, he's a single dog.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
legit
just-
what I say when you're walking a very cute dog seal.
no, Kagano, you bark at people, like, not too much, but, like, you know, in a, like, don't touch me, that kind of way. Like, you do that.
Like a mean way?
Yeah,
Yes.
a bit of a, yeah, in a bit of a mean way. It's pretending
Okay.
time.
"It's a mean
Okay.
town."
We don't know that yet. Maybe.
I feel pretty certain of it. Okay, sorry, even though you both feel like stealth, we're gonna just walk in there and distract the police. And then we're like doing it in a game of GTA where it's like, here's the mission, you gotta bust someone out of the thing, and really you just have to be a tank.
Yeah.
Then I think Kekino will go with Cal and give her advantage on the performance check. Everybody roll me a performance check.
Cal pulls
think-
her hair up in a ponytail, which means
I think-
business.
I think Kekino has accurately assessed that Cal is the weakest link in performance.
You
got
should get a
nat
nat 20.
So it's a 25.
Wow. Does Kakano give me advantage?
Yes, because he's giving you the help action.
Did Fish get a 1? That'd be funny.
2.
Oh no! Sure, the nat 20 will cancel that out a bit.
So that's a 10 total, but like,
Oh, hold on. No, it's okay, because give me a second. Can I do it? Yep. I'm gonna give you a 4. I'm gonna flash a genius here.
So that's a 14.
thank you.
We're conniving together. That's the shtick.
Thank
Mhm.
you. Thank you. And like, you know, Fish and May, whatever universe it be, they do like to be like schemers.
Schemers.
Together.
Yeah.
I need to remember to do guidance, but I will say in the same, I think Cal would be too focused on her own shit.
Yeah.
I
I
got
do
a
think-
19, by the way.
A 19. Okay. I do think
Well
it's
done.
very funny that May and Fish are like schemey scheme, and then Cal and Kekano are like, so should I be a dog that like does tricks or a dog that doesn't do tricks? Like
No-
obviously
no
every dog
tricks.
knows shake, but do I know speak? I think that's important for our backstory.
No, Kagano, you don't even know Shake. You're actually a bit of a badly behaved dog that we must keep on a leash. And it's like, people back off
like-
because he may
It's like
piss
a
on your
villain
leg.
role.
Kakano's
don't
like,
actually-
what is
you
don't
my
actually-
motivation?
What is my motivation?
You've been hurt
you,
before.
you've
I'm
been
here
hurt
for
before.
revenge. I understand.
You only like your select group of people, that's us, who take good care of you. And then when you sniff Henry, obviously you understand that he's a safe person also, but everyone else can just back off.
I understand. Okay.
And you don't like cops.
All right.
Need it even be said.
A cab.
Yeah.
Take care.
Um,
May has her jacket all zipped up as well, so her tattoos are here.
Okay. As you guys
Oh, and okay, sorry. Fish just goes, oh shit.
That's why they rolled so low, is that they started walking down and they went, oh shit, and turned back up the hill.
Yeah. And so, like, they look like they've got vitiligo, which are the
Yeah.
one that's
Yeah.
pronounced. But
the
like,
first
yeah.
person you see stops you and goes, "Are you doing blackface?"
No,
No, it's
surprisingly
mud.
no. You'd think, but no.
As you sort of get into characters in an undertone, talk about your kind of backstories and stuff like that, you start walking into town. You start walking through this sort of residential area. The town gets a little busier. Clearly, a lot of early risers in this sort of more rural community. As you start heading towards the downtown. As you're going through, some people kind of on their porches greet you and give you a little wave as you're walking through. Seem friendly enough.
And Fish does like a yeah, we're busy, but like hello.
Yeah, being slightly neighborly but not like welcoming. As you sort of head
I think
into
Techno occasionally goes, okay, run! And then just does like a burst of speed that
Yeah.
Callus will be like, ah!
yeah, or
I have
like
to go get my dog!
Religionist, I'm gonna pull on the leash in 3, 2, 1. I'm a bad dog. Okay. As you sort of approach the kind of core of town, you can see, more businesses starting to come up. A lot of like farm supply stores, and you see a fairly like large building for a town this small that is a like a cattle auction house. You think that while this town is not in cattle country, it's like kind of the gateway to it in the surrounding area. You also see like a weirdly large building in town. This is a town where the skyscrapers are 2 stories. And yet there is a building on the other side of town that is fully like a 6-story large complex. Like it is entirely kind of out of step with what this place is. As you are walking through. And,
That's an eldritch sight for me.
with that, well, we'll get to that in just a second. With
Okay.
that very good performances for everybody, I think you feel yourself blending in. So I would say you can either do a group perception check with advantage, or if one person wants to do a perception check with advantage, the DC will be higher for the non-group one.
Miss May, would you like to do it?
I'm happy to go either way because this is Fish's go. So whatever.
I feel like can Fish and May do it together, but Cal doesn't have to.
Sure.
Okay. You're not gonna believe this.
Another
with
nat
adva-
20 or nat
Another
1?
one.
Ah,
With advantage, you said?
yes.
And then, sorry, what was the
Oh,
middle? What was-
advantage. Oh, there's no point in me even rolling again.
You can get a second nat 20.
And
Get it out of your system. If you don't roll it later.
and we're perceiving?
Yeah.
9.
Perception. You could also do insight if that's better for you.
It's really not. Fish was like so confident in like the getting there portion, and now they're here and like they're kind of they're shaking, and it's like
They're freezing up.
oh fuck. Yeah. Yes. I didn't. Oh, I'm just like now having to confront the fact that I've never planned anything in my life, and I don't know what I'm actually doing. And I've just dragged my 2 best friends in the whole world
Yeah.
over here.
You're like, I'm in charge, and if I fuck up, my son suffers. Oh
Yeah.
no!
Yeah.
What is May's total with a nat 20 for
29.
perception?
And you know what? The demon in me is like, what if I flash a genius?
You can.
That's your grey remnant right there.
No, I'm going to save it. I feel like if we fucking natural 29. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fish, you're looking at this. You're looking at the town as a whole. 2 things you notice with your 9. First of all, you see this big building, and you do Eldritch Sight.
That building's too big for a small town.
You do see some like faint glows of magic. It's hard to tell from this far away, but it's either that building or like something close to that building has some magic involved with it. You also notice that like right in front of you, as you're getting to more of the downtown area, is a payphone, and you're like, well, maybe I could call the cops out to like an emergency on the other side of town or something, and like get
Fun threat.
get them get them out. Maybe that can help cut down the people. And as you start to kind of like approach this payphone, someone on the street walks up to you and goes, "Hey there, stranger! What are you doing in town?"
How Grimace is like, I told you.
Fish goes, "Oh, nothing much, partner. Just hanging around and seeing what there is to see. Hey, say, buddy, old pal, you wouldn't happen to be able to tell me what the large building is for?"
Oh, the medical center? Yeah, no, that's
Well, the
it's
medical
pride-
center. That's not suspicious at all.
No, it's the pride of our little town. We had God, must have been, it was Grandpappy's day, so like 60 years ago, we had sort of an important doctor kind of retire to this region, set up a little clinic, just kind of grew and grew, and now we got some people coming in for specialty stuff, and there's medical company moved in there, hiring all sorts of people and things like that. Yeah, real proud of town.
Okay, we're gonna Fish can what would a roll be for like trying to cold read a person?
Insight.
Okay, I would like to do an insight for Fish to, and I will roll the roll first so that I can play how actually good at it is. But like the idea is like I'm getting a doctor, a doctor, a doctor
With a V?
you know.
Begins with a letter. That's what I'm sure of.
Oh, actually begins with an apostrophe. It's one of those foreign names.
That's a 15.
Okay. With a 15, you are trying to get information out of this guy, trying to get like a sense. You notice that he noticed your interest in the medical center and is now like avoiding giving you details. You're like, "Oh, tell me about the doctor," and it's like, "Oh, she was great," and then it's like, "Oh, she," it's like, "Yeah, she."
Yeah, it's the 50s. That's really good. Like this is a pretty progressive place for a small, like it's a tiny town, a very large medical center, woman in charge.
Yeah.
Next thing you'll be saying that there's a lady mayor. Is there a lady mayor?
Nope, he's a man. Just like being
Well,
very.
have you asked? Like maybe
very-
you could have a discussion about it.
Yep,
and
maybe
it
a
turns
lady
out
mayor. Maybe a lady mayor next time.
yeah.
May with a 29 perception. I will give you a.
Give me the schematics, Patrick. I'll accept nothing less.
I'll give you truly anything you want. So if you think of like specific questions that would be under perception that you could theoretically see in this moment, I'll give you that too. But the first thing I will give you is the people. People are walking around, going to their work, doing their day-to-day. You notice that the town does seem to have like a very small like Hispanic population or something like that. There's a lot of Asian people here for bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah, I thought there would be.
There's a lot of Asian people here, a very weird amount. As you're watching people, go about their day, some of them seem like entirely normal and like there's not a problem. Others will like bump into each other coming through a doorway and then stop and then just look at each other for a moment and then walk off, almost like they're like sort of aping human and not like doing it well enough. Other people are sharp-eyed. There are some people who you can see. There's like a man sitting on a bench feeding birds. There's like 2 birds and he just keeps throwing out crumbs over and over again. And you can see his eyes are just scanning the street almost robotically, checking every single person. There is some like system here where some people are watching very closely and some other people seem not aware of anything that's happening at all. the person who came up to talk to Fish is one of these watchers. This is a test. This is a pass to get into town and allowed to be in here. And with that 29, you see that with this guy here talking to Fish, there are 4 more people, the blank-eyed ones, just kind of standing at opportune places to lightly surround you. They don't seem to be looking at you or paying attention to you in any way, but you know that that could change in an instant. And as Fish finishes this conversation,
I had an idea for them to make it worse if May doesn't stop them.
May's about to say something. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll just wait for Patrick to finish.
Yeah.
you can see that as this watcher is looking over Fish, also looking over you and looking over Kekino. And you can see kind of the moment when he seems to relax slightly, as if your performance was good enough to match or beat a check that he made. Fish can obviously still dig you in deeper, but at least
May's
in
about to
this
say
moment,
something.
at least in
Yeah.
this moment, I think you think with a nat 20 for a total of 29, you think you have now been classified as someone who came into town on business or walked into town or was already staying in town and now need to be like persuaded to leave or abducted rather than we need to bring out the security into the streets and kill this person.
Yeah. May puts her arm around Fish's shoulder and says, "Sorry, I know we're taking a bit of an interest in female. It's actually because we're looking to have children, and it'd be much more preferable if we'd have a female consultant. But darling, we can find her somewhere else. She's probably quite busy. But we actually were just driving through with my cousin, and we thought this town looked quite nice. But could you recommend somewhere?
I thought the road was closed. There was that accident that's got it all closed up.
Yes,
we hiked away to.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, we just need to go in the other direction. If the
Yeah,
road's
so we
closed.
were going to ask if there any way around town. We might get some food while we're here, but we'll be on our way. Shame, it looks quite nice here.
No, Bessie's Diner is phenomenal. It's just down the way there, a couple blocks over. You can get some nice breakfast there. Make mean French toast, and maybe if you gotta stay in town for a while, I think there's a couple of rooms. A lot of people, we'll open up a room or so to travelers. We get a lot of the ranchers in during the season and things like that.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. That's so helpful.
Fish
Are we-
kind of
like this?
It's like, Collisionist, did you know about this?
Fish nudges May and goes like, "I'd be interested in seeing the diner."
I would also, I haven't had a good plate of grits in quite a while. We'll be on our way. Thank you so much for your.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Women in
as
male-dominated fields is my special interest.
and as May steers Fish in the direction where this diner is, with a smile she leans in, as if murmuring, let me. There's an entire system of people in this town watching us and making sure that we're not suspicious. Amble on down, I reckon.
Fuck. Okay, well, from my visions, I know that Henry would hang out at the diner. Maybe there'll be someone who'll be willing to help us in there. Or maybe we're
Sounds
all
great.
fucked.
Oh, well, it's too early to tell, but I am also a bit hungry if I'm on a hike.
Oh, May, when aren't you hungry?
And is going to, while they're walking, look back to Cal as if to say, like, come to us, same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cal, when Gekko was like, did you know about this? Cal makes, like, such a stink face.
So I was genuinely just like, what's something that would both in character throw Fish off the story so they're talking, but also makes sense for us to be interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cal
Yeah.
manhandles Kekano's leash and, like, marches over.
With
And yeah, May will just
May's
tell her the exact same
perception,
thing.
Yeah. And
With
Cal's
May's
just like, I
perception.
fucking knew it!
you see the ones that are surrounding you in the exact same moment. Walk away.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
The same idling animation.
Yeah.
Fish
Yeah.
like murmurs, oh fuck, this is like a hive mind slug sort of situation. Oh boy. I don't I think guys, if it ends up being really dire, maybe you can get out while you still can, and I'll just join the hive mind to be close to my son.
They'll value the contribution, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, I can be a dead
I
eyed
was like,
one
on
real
that,
good.
she's like, you could they'd probably become so sick of being connected to your mind, they would just dissolve the whole thing. I'm sure we could come back in a couple weeks and you and Henry would walk right back out.
Thanks, Tanya. But we don't have a couple weeks. I want to get him now.
As we're walking,
Well,
do we see the
we're
police
in
station?
the realm
Oh,
of
sorry.
death to get my relative. This seems easy by comparison.
That's a fucking good point. I said that as me, not. Yeah, this is a walk in the park.
Are there any parks to walk in?
There's some green spaces downtown if you want. Any other information May wants on that 29? I will say that you see there is a phone book attached to the payphone if you want to look up
Yes,
anyone
please.
local, see if you know anyone in town.
Yes.
And
M for Malveda.
And I think that May also sees a old flyer posted to a wall.
I
does it
will
say?
say, I don't know how likely it is, but I'm like, especially in a mostly white town, I do think there is some degree that people would be like, oh, a brown person. I wonder if they're related to this brown person I know.
Certainly possible.
Yeah. Finnish wants the phone book to look up Oscar or Isabel or Isabella, whether we decide which one is canon. It doesn't matter, frankly.
It doesn't remember.
To-
Switching back and forth, and May and Cal are like, I don't know, and they don't remember. They hope they land on the right one.
yeah, so it's
God.
basically like M, Malveda, Isabel, no A. Okay, cool. Let's go.
It just lists Malveda, comma I, and Fish goes, fuck!
Fuck, shit.
Ink and I genuinely discussed out of session that Izzy is almost exclusively known by like Izzy as a nickname,
As Izzy.
which means that Fish would probably forget whether it is Isabel or Isabella.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. The flyer that May notices is kind of walk up to the payphone on the phone book, kind of uncurl it, look at it for a minute. It's a recruiting flyer looking for workers for a new chemical plant and mining operation that is being run by American Pharmaceutical Solutions, which May, having done this research previously, recognizes as the American like shadow subsidiary of the Baiyicu Medical Company from China.
Yep. Cool.
And once again, like the third or fourth time, they've been associated with like caves or doing cave exploration.
Cool. May is immediately more paranoid and suspicious. Mentions this to the others. With the 29, is it only applicable medical center, Patrick?
What do you mean?
Will you only be answering questions about the medical center itself pertaining to like
What
perception?
counts under the 29?
Yeah.
I will anything that May could physically see in this moment, I will give you answers about. So if you're like, can I see the diner? No, it's in the next block over. Can I see people moving towards the diner? Yes, this gives you information about the diner. Anything that you want that you could argue that May could see.
Can I see the police station or sign saying where the police station is?
Yes. Police station seems to be a little bit deeper in, closer to the medical center, but not necessarily right next to it. You also see a squad car, which you think is probably the cop car for the town.
Yep.
That is like within your sight, but like 2 blocks away, just kind of parked. You see 2 figures in the car.
Okay. Can I see any maybe potential ways to get into the medical facility? Like surreptitious ways, perhaps.
Just from what you can see of like where it's located in town, it does look like it was just like, yeah, this was like a normal like small town like high street, and then somebody bought like, 8 properties next to each other and combined them into a big property. Like it really like stands out for the architecture of the area, but it's not like on a campus where there's like a border fence and a big green zone or something. It's just a weirdly large building that is
Any obvious?
So there is kind of like if we get up to like the roofs of the high street, they're all close enough to kind of connect. Maybe that gets us in like a 3rd-story window or something like that. Nothing else that's like obvious to you in this moment, but I think a 29 is enough for you to be like, I've memorized the layout of the town. I know where everything is, or at least should be.
What about security? Sorry, Minnie.
It's okay.
You notice that the police seem to be enough security for the town. This was a small town. Based on what you were seeing with like, there's a cattle auctions that are held here, and the guy was talking about getting a lot of like transient people in during certain seasons. There might be a kind of like, local guys are hired to keep order sometimes when it's necessary, or maybe just people in town are tough enough that it's just kind of like, they catch bad guys and beat them up, and then the police just come to arrest them. Maybe a little more rough and tumble kind of town. You don't see like any evidence of like private security in and around town. Just sort of normal people, or at least people who would appear normal if you didn't get such a high perception.
Are there manhole covers on the way to the hospital or the police station?
There is manhole covers. It is only on the high street, which is the street that the hospital and the police station are on.
Not a perception question, but does May sense anything beneath Tremor?
You feel, you just feel like the empty spaces of like civic infrastructure, but it's very light. It's small town level, so it's just like you can feel like a couple of pipes, the blank space of like a couple of pipes underneath you. I will say that does count as perception check with with your 29. You feel a very slight rumble, like maybe some sort of digging or something that is like not close to here. That is like decently far away, but is like traveling via infrasound, like through the earth.
Final question. Oh, sorry, go on, Ink.
No, you final question, and then I have my question.
Okay. With the people who are clearly not normal people, is there a sense of direction which they are all moving to, like a hub for like this is where the Jonas setup is, sort of deal?
A very good question. There seems to be a little bit of a traffic flow coming from the south, which is the direction that the hospital and police station are in compared to you, but is also like further to the south is the direction of where you think like the tremors are coming from, like the other side of town. But because you are focusing on traffic flow, you notice that some of these not people are like walking into a building, walking out of that building, doing a circle around the park, stopping at the newsstand, circling around, walking back into the same building, walking out of the building, like almost like they're on an NPC loop, in a way. And it is so obvious to you that you think there has to be something wrong with like the quote unquote normal people here, that they don't notice how wrong everything is.
Okay, can I make a request that May will like keep a mental sort of note of the traffic she goes, or would that?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that doesn't count for
Yeah,
like
cool.
the 29, but if that's information you want to be storing away, then yes.
Yeah, like the main points people are coming in and out of. Again, with the mind of where's Jonas basing himself.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
And what is the ink question?
How obvious, how very clearly could you see Blasphemous Darts in the light of day in this time
If you knew you were looking for magic, it would be pretty suspicious and obvious. I think if you were fully mortal and had no experience with magic, especially when visibility is not particularly good, like it is
Yeah.
around sunrise, people would be very suspicious of it, but I think you could make an argument for it not being what they thought they saw.
Yeah, what a weird green dragonfly.
Yeah.
This time of the year
Just-
too.
Just a little, hey, we're near the medical center. They're doing all sorts of shit. It's healing. It's healing. You know, that's what green is.
Everybody knows green is healing color.
Yeah, and purple, poison.
Oh, and the answer to the other question that you asked earlier, you go and you flip open the phone book. Malaveda, a phone number, and because this is a very rural town, and this is used to be how it was, an address.
Yes, yeah, nice.
Oh, fucking yeah. Address. Like, we'll take that, thank you. Tears the page out. I don't care, we're not coming back.
Yeah.
And Fish, like, eyes it for a second, like, looks around, makes sure that and at a moment that they think that no one's looking their way, we're just gonna like shoot blasphemous darts to puncture the tires of every single tire of the cop car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me.
And we're at a level 11, which means that I can shoot 5 at once now, which means it can be done.
Nice.
Wait. No, let me double check that.
Mm.
You definitely can do more. I'm just concerned about the number. Because I know that the fat dart counts as 2.
Yes, it used to. So the original number fired at once was 4. We made 2 of them into 1, so it's 3.
Yep.
So I, like, realistically go up to 5 now, right?
If the total is supposed to be 6, then yes, it would be 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Okay. That's 5. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. That's a decent one. 18.
Okay. With an 18, you immediately you pop these tires. You can see the car like shaking a little bit from the impact, and the people inside like moving around. Like, what was that? What happened? But you don't think they are associating it with you. They don't think they saw you do it. May, still with that 29, sees a full like 50% of the people on the street immediately turned in your direction because you cast magic in this town. May, with that 29, has enough warning with that perception that you think you can be like, let's get the fuck out of here before like an alarm is raised and you can escape, but only because you rolled so high that you're getting like this pre-warning.
Yeah, Meg like leans into Fish and says, "They fucking know that we're here. We need to leave right now."
I'm not going to.
Meg turns to Cal and says, "Thoughts?"
Yeah, if May
If
says
this-
we need to leave, I think we need to leave. These weird
If
people
it's-
are looking at us.
If it's go time, then I'm rushing into the police station.
Why don't we just go around the corner?
Cal's like, yeah, I don't want to be having this fucking conversation on the street, and it's just starting to like, has like Kekano's like leash wrapped a couple times around her wrist, and takes her hands to grab Fish and May and like bodily get them over into like a park or something like that
Okay.
off the street.
Yeah, they'll let themselves be dragged at this time.
With May's forewarning, you get out of there. You see three people who kind of like walk up into the general area, keep an eye on the payphone that Fish was standing to, and then kind of like look around. Other people walk up to the payphone and seem to be like sniffing it with their mouth open.
Oh, they're doing the thing.
Yeah, with as you keep walking away and moving farther and farther away, you start to see this kind of like kerfuffle like separate out and drift apart. No like major manhunt seems to be underway or anything like that, but something very suspicious that like raised internal alarm bells happened here in this moment. And it doesn't seem like it was associated with you. Doesn't seem like you were caught, but you got to be careful.
Yeah, May. I think May will explicitly be like, let's hold off on the magic now, shall we?"
Okay. But, it's better to have one less car chasing us.
Oh no, I don't disagree. But now that we know, let's not, if we can avoid it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay.
I want to say out of game, we got half an hour left.
Yep.
And then
Keeping an eye on the time.
Cal is going to be like, all right, so no pass without trace. They're to some degree onto us. Should we continue to the diner to get more information, or should we just start, well, assuming that our timer is already running out?
Well, the police station is near the diner, so we might as well cover, I suppose. See if we can scope it out. Fish,
Yeah,
thoughts?
Okay. Yeah, okay. And like they
go.
crumple the bit of the phone book page and just like, tuck that away. Thinking like at this point, like I have now just remembered that Henry was accused of Ozzy's murder, so maybe that like
You don't know that actually. There was.
I know that he was accused. I know
Yeah.
that.
You know
That's-
he was accused of. You know that he was accused of Ozzy's murder.
I don't know that Oscar is dead. I don't know anything about that, and currently I'm like, my boy's no killer. no son of mine. But yeah,
I'm also thinking if we get to the diner and then we're like by the police station, we could be like, "Oh no, my dog!" and Kakano can just like bolt into the police station,
Exactly what I was thinking.
run behind, yeah.
Yeah. I was also thinking away from the police station so the police would be like chasing him. I don't know. We'd be like, cops, go get our dog. And they'd be like, okay. I don't know.
like our bomb plan.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no. Dinah scope out police station from there.
All right. Because of the activity at that phone booth, you kind of have to take the long way around to avoid the kind of agitated people. It takes you more in the direction of like the south of town. You've got to walk past where like the medical center is and things like that. May, paying attention to the traffic patterns, you can see that it's like kind of the end of the high street with the medical center, and then it starts to get like some residential areas, but there's still like a big street going in that direction, and then there's forest, and then there is something like farther, like south of town. You can see something. Maybe it's like a compound or like an extra group of buildings. Maybe that's where the caves are, and there's like something built up there. You don't know. You just know there is something down there, and that seems to be kind of the traffic. Is people seem to be like coming from there into town. That may be a base of operations, or it may be the medical center, or it may be, like the police station.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Do we make it to the diner without being got?
You make it to the diner without being got. You get in there. There is sort of a early morning rush, for lack of a better term, but it's not very busy in there. It's sort of like a classic greasy spoon diner.
Fish is having major deja vu.
Yeah, you can see you can see it doesn't seem like there's kind of like a waitress necessarily. It seems like there is a guy cooking who is also like taking orders and delivering food, and then also someone who has a familial resemblance. Probably his son is like also cooking and taking orders. Like there's two people doing everything rather than being like there's a diner waitress, it's going around on roller skates or something. Yeah, as you come in here, and I think Fish is really experiencing deja vu and a lot of flashes of memory. You are getting not just the memories of Henry that you saw coming in here asking for help, using power of what kind you don't know to get a meal, or even though you haven't seen it, you feel like the presence, like a weight pulling at you, like an anchor pulling at you, of like the dumpster where you saw Henry scrounging for food. But you also feel more than that. You feel like the nausea of hunger as you walk in this room, and for just a second, like your body remembers what it was like to be Henry.
Acting entirely on instinct, Fish closes their eyes and maybe hopes to see what Henry might be seeing at this time.
You sort of reach out to poke Henry in a way, and you don't get anything. The connection is easier now that he's so close, and you then know that if you're not succeeding, it's because something is trying to keep you from succeeding. That influence that I think you could pretty reasonably guess is Jonas doing something. Keeping you from kind of like pushing through.
Which they report. They go like, I'm trying to reach him, but there's something, and we all know what the something is.
Sounds about right.
I would like May to give me a self-insight check.
14.
You also feel something more, something like a seasickness in a way, like you're getting kind of pulled and pushed even while you're standing still. Something inside of you is being influenced in this moment, and I don't think you have internalized the existence of the Grey Remnant enough to know what it is, that it is this kind of separate entity to think of. You just know you feel really bad. But something is pushing and pulling on the Grey Remnant in this moment.
May immediately takes a seat, and I imagine looks a bit queasy and says, "Sorry, I just feel a bit I guess I'm hungrier than I thought."
Oh, May, I'm sorry. I'll shout you something. You sit there. You need like a water or like.
That would be great, actually, Fish. Thank you.
Thanks for coming and doing this with me. I'm sorry. We shouldn't be like actually, neglecting ourselves. I'll get you something to eat.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And leaves Cal and Kekano to also sit there and goes up to the fucking place. And is it the guy? Is it the dude from the thing?
It is the dude from the thing. The main chef is the guy from the place.
Yeah,
you
I
recognize-
think I don't remember his name. You should remember his name. I think.
don't remember his name. I didn't write it down.
Okay.
But yes, this is the chef you see in the back is the one who fed Henry multiple times and who like cared for him and tried to get him help. The person at the register right now seems to be his son, nephew, somebody with a familial resemblance. Just saying, "Hi, welcome. What can I get for you?"
It's something nice and thick and meaty for my one of my lady friends over there, and then something nice and plain for my other lady friend over there. Waters for
Steak
all.
Toast.
My light on the butter for one, and then heavy on the butter for the other one. Just like transfer the gotcha. And then just fuck it, extra bacon for my dog.
Okay. Anything for yourself or?
No, I'm on a mission. I'm fed by determination.
Okay. Yeah. Dad, can we get 2 rafts, minimal grease, and full on heavy on grease? Yeah, you got it. And
Oh, your dad, huh? Working in the back? Family
Yeah.
business type thing?
Yeah.
That's nice. How old are you, kid?
I mean, 24, so not much of a kid, but
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forget myself. We are only, what, I wouldn't say I'm even 10 years older than you. Yeah, no, that's really great. School around here?
I mean, there's the little schoolhouse in town, and there's the high school down mountain.
Down mountain.
I've heard of such things.
Yeah. Yes, the mountain. Fish is realizing that they have no way to be like, hey, so do you? Like, there's no way for this to continue in a way that will be helpful. So they're just like, all right, yeah, cool. Me and my lady friend are thinking of having a kid. That's the story that we're telling people.
All right.
That's why she needs a steak. She's eating for 2.
Good for you. So you're here for the medical center then?
Oh, we'd like to.
Yes.
We'd like to get further in there. Yeah. Do you know, what's the wait list?
I don't know. There's sort of a new company that bought it when I was sort of a kid, I guess, and they seem to be running things a little different. I don't know. I'd say you have to ask them.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. No worries. You stick to your corner of the earth, and they stick to theirs, and I'm traveling freely
basically.
between them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
All
You know,
right.
and it's a good hospital. We like having the care here, but you know, they get the new owner's a little bit secretive, and then they built that new factory, and they're hiring a bunch of people. It just seems to be more of a like a money
What's the
making
factory for?
thing. The factory, they're like producing medication of some kind. It's what all the drilling they're doing in the tunnels are about. Yeah, a lot of
Interesting.
people working there in town nowadays. A lot of people who would come and go just kind of move to town, you know, permanently. Good jobs, pays better than ranching, and works a little more stable. So
And more customers to serve. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, we're not doing too bad.
Biz just kind of lingers for a second. And is like, I get the water myself. Cool. Yep. And does that and takes it back over to the table. It's like food is incoming. Also, this is a baby that's serving us.
Can you believe this this small child can walk and talk?
They're even letting him carry hot foods.
Callie
Loud?
Cal turns to May and is like, Adrienne would eat him alive, and then chuckles at a private joke, which would piss off Fish.
It's actually, they're like, fuck. Getting your breakfast. What the fuck?
Checking goes, yes, he would. Yeah, as you're settling down, you know, you're all probably keeping a pretty close eye on the other people who are eating here. There's definitely a gamut of like seemingly normal people like enjoying their coffee and their breakfast, and people who are just like robotically like shoving food in their mouth until the plate is empty and then standing up and leaving. Until the kind of larger, you know, father, the chef, comes over and says, "All right, we got some toast for you, and then we got sort of a full breakfast. We got eggs. You didn't specify what kind, so we did fried and breakfast ham, and then extra bacon. Anything else we can get you folks?"
Cal just like nibbles on her toast and goes, "Thank you."
This isn't a joke. This is not what Fish says, but like, my son. Give me my fucking son.
Give me my son.
I want to roll an insight on what he thinks of us, real quick.
Yeah.
May's chowing down.
14. What does he think of us?
He's looking at you with, I think, a little bit more of like a spark and attention than you have realized is common here anymore. Like, kind of capable of thinking and noticing things, maybe. And is just sort of like casually curious about like, you know, what you're doing here. I think with a 14, you're not quite sure about like, you're not totally sure about like internal state, but maybe this guy understands a little bit more than the average normies that like, oh, like there haven't been a lot of visitors to town recently, things like that, of being like, it is a little bit weird that suddenly someone new is in town after a while. I wonder why they're here. Is just kind of like curious about you. You do see that with a 14, the chef like gives you the food and is in like kind of service mode, and then looking at you, Fish, gets like ever so slightly sad for a moment before kind of the plastered on smile comes back on.
Okay. Mooney, Ellie, and Patrick, of course. I'm looking for Will Ink do the funny but stupid thing. Yes, no.
I feel like
Hole.
this guy would put fish enough at ease that they would, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because he's a
agreed.
regular.
He's just like, do you know my son Henry?
Close. Close.
Do you recognize this face?
Do I know you?
No, just that Fish goes, are the Malvaders still at the old place?
You can see like a flash of surprise that you brought them up, and then sort of like a certain fondness as he's like able to like help you and answer a question. And it's like, oh yeah, Oscar's still at the old house, and you know, I'm sure you, if you know the Malavedas, you heard about Henry.
Yeah. How's he doing after all that?
Well, you know, I saw it when they when he was arrested, and
Yeah, it was here, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was here. May has the highest passive perception, so I think you notice that a full probably like 30% of the people in the room have just kind of like just like kind of turned into this conversation.
May puts her arm around Fish and says, oh, darling, we don't want to talk about such pressing things. We don't want to ruin everyone else.
No, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
it's real. It was real scary. I guess you know Rod and the other cops were a little bit worried because it seemed like such a big deal to happen in such a small town. I'm glad they glad that I got to see Oscar though, and you know, he hasn't seen Henry, but
Yeah.
hope he's okay.
Well, yeah. It's a whole unpleasant business, you know, family member being arrested and like a stain on the reputation. But don't worry, like it's like clearly this is a beautiful place, nothing to do with you. Anyway, thanks for answering my question. I was just curious, just because you know, old buddies of mine, the Malvaders, you know, we're here. That's all.
No, the Malavedas are good people. I'm pretty worried about Henry too. Are you here for a visit or to help him with that?
I was probably gonna drop in on old Aussie, but we'll see how we go.
I think you could really use that right now.
Yeah. All right. I'll send my regards from you, the Diner Man.
Yeah, thank you. No, yeah, the Diner Man. No, good, and he knows he can call me if he needs anything. So.
For sure.
Patrick did
I
give him a
swear.
name and doesn't
He does
remember
have
it
a
and
name.
doesn't
We just-
want to now contradict it in a later recording.
I can look it up for you in between this and the next time.
I can also look it up. I'm just lazy. And yeah, with that, he just says, you know, give them my regards and enjoy your food. And
Thank you.
Goes back to the kitchen. You can see like a real genuine sadness and worry for Henry, but also like with a 14, I think you think like he doesn't think Henry would do the thing he was accused of, but he's not sure if he was like wrong about him. You know, that kind of like, I don't think he would do that, but if he would, you know, I spent a lot of time with him. Was I in danger too? Like he seems a little conflicted, but like mostly sad for Henry and for Oscar.
Fish looks after the guy for a while and then like turns to Calumet and goes, "Yep."
Dad,
Yeah, bud. Yeah,
do you think Henry's gonna be okay?
I know he's gonna be okay because we're
'Cause
here.
we're gonna save him, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Can you put that bacon down on the floor so I can have it?
Yes. Here. Here, you can have this plate. No one's using it. Caligis is like, I'm using it. No, you're not. I'm using it.
I'm
Yeah.
eating like a bad dog.
You can eat like a good dog if you like. We can be good in here.
The plate like immediately goes from like clattering all over the floor to just like
Yeah.
calmly eating strips of bacon. Yes, and you would notice that like having clocked this conversation, the other people in the room have kind of gone back to whatever they were doing. It seems like perhaps whatever this is has an interest in people talking about or knowing about Henry, but it does not happen so rarely that it is inherently suspicious.
Mhm. No,
Yes.
it's normal to ask how like people are.
As you have a nice breakfast, get some calories in you to start the day. Where do you want to head to next?
Well, we're about to wrap up right here, but maybe Ellie, you let me know what you think, and Mooney too. Maybe we drop in on Oscar and just be like, "Hey."
Yeah, I was thinking
Is
that.
is that dangerous?
I think. Well, I mean, we're us being here is dangerous, right? It's just a matter
Yeah,
of
it is.
risk. I think whatever we do, as long as we go past the police station.
Yeah. No, Fish would go. Like, they're
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Hey, hey."
And that makes sense to me because we can potentially get this guy alone if he's not a threat, and question him away from
Yeah.
all the prying fucking drones hanging around.
Yeah, and if he has been droned, we'll deal with that when
Yeah.
that is revealed.
As you pay and leave the diner, you walk past the police station, kind of take a peek inside. Looks like a very like rural pattern. Just like it's not like, oh, there's big security barricades or anything like that. It's like the front desk is a desk with a guy in uniform sitting
Could
at
be jumped.
sitting at it. Could be jumped. There's a couple of other desks behind him. Maybe one is filled at the moment. There is kind of like a barred door near the back, and you can see like some more bars behind it. Like that's kind of where the holding cell is. Not a particularly big place. Doesn't seem like really high security. But definitely some place that you could not just go in unprepared necessarily, because there would be obstacles to deal with, but also not like a secure facility.
As we walk by, does May with Tremor Sense get a sense of any underground spaces maybe go in through?
You get the sense that the sort of main like plumbing and sewage access is on this street. You don't feel like there's a tunnel or anything going from there to the police station, but you do feel that there is something underneath the police station. There is a hollow space, like there is an underground
Great.
space to it.
That's not ominous at all. It's probably just the basement. Cool. All right. At some point, we can
just
assume
the
May's told the
basement.
others. Yeah. It'll be like, yeah, it'll be fucking stinky nasty, whatever it is down there, I'm sure.
this is like the end of Zodiac, where Jake Gyllenhaal goes, "There are not many basements in California." Even though we're not there, but you know.
May
Colorado, on the
points
other
it out
hand,
as a
is lousy
potential.
with basements. Everybody's got a
Yeah.
basement.
It's still suspicious.
Yeah.
What-
Mm.
Does May keep using tremor sense as they kind of walk away?
Sure. I will say yes, based on her already earlier having been like, is there any way we and like traverse that way to go up into places?
Well, if you're not going to like send Kekino into the police station or anything to get more information, if you are going to walk away, then it does make sense to kind of like keep, focusing on what you're feeling. It seems like the underground space, the basement of the station, has a little bit of a larger footprint than the building above, and then it seems to stretch in the direction of the medical center, as if they are connected underground.
Okay. And does May feel anyone walking through it?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. Be fine if it would be easier to go through the medical center to rescue Henry. That'd be wild. May mentions it to the others, and it's basically like, I'm not vicious at all.
Yeah. He's just actually feeling a little bit jazzed because it's like, yeah, we're gonna talk to Oscar, and he's gonna be like, yes, I'll help in whatever way I can, and then we go and we bust in, and they're connected underneath, fan-fucking-tastic. We just have to find an additional way that connects into there that is not either of those buildings, and then sneak in, and then come up, and then sneak back out.
Yeah. And that guy was nice about my son. Everything's coming up gravy.
Yeah. I'm sure it was all just a one big misunderstanding. And they're gonna just
This
let
place
us
is fine. This is
go.
actually a really nice town, you know?
Yeah.
People here are
Maybe I
nice.
will raise a child here, but
They
not
got
with
small
you,
town
May.
friendliness
Just my
here.
one.
And yeah, do you start heading to Oscar's?
Yep.
Patrick has got a cliffhanger ready to go. I can fucking feel
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I don't really have like an exciting one, but yes.
Yeah.
As you walk kind of out of the downtown, back further into the more wooded residential area, you're not getting that far from downtown. Seems like a decently centrally located house. You start looking at the address on paper, probably trying not to ask for directions, just kind of winging it, seeing a street, walking down it. Oh, does it have a cross street that I recognize? Sure, we'll go in that way. You eventually make your way to a
Fish, sorry to interrupt you. Fish keeps looking at the map as if it will suddenly have zoomed in somehow to have gained more detail, but like, no.
You eventually come to a small wooden house. It is the type of place that is not expensive. It's not nice, but it is loved. There are little carved decorations on the lintels. There is flower boxes and some decorations that you can just see a peek of in the internal windows because the curtains are all drawn. But the biggest thing is right on the front door, nailed to it, is a little wooden sign that someone has painted "Go Away" on.
I don't know what that sign says. I can't read.
That sign can't stop me because I can't read.
I can't read, yeah.
What do you do?
Oh, we're going up there. Actually, first, real quick, Eldritch Sight on the house. Just like, are there magic traps? Do we have to worry about?
Oh,
Okay. You do Eldritch Sight, and you notice. Actually, give me a perception check to see what you notice.
Okay. $21.
With a 21, you look at the house. Some of the carvings under the kind of doorway and the windows are actually magical in some respects. You don't recognize like where it comes from or why, but there is like a little bit of magic flowing through it. Maybe like good luck charms or sort of like indigenous safe home protection charms or something like that. The there doesn't seem to be any magical traps that you can see, anything like that. Just a little bit of magic kind of like scattered around on the grounds. And then with a 21, as you look around, you notice that the houses in the area and also some of the trees in the backyard and the house across the street, they all have not like a camera, but like a sensor made of symbol magic, kind of like pointed at the house. You don't know that anybody's watching through that or that they're active necessarily. They've kind of got like a bit of flow of magic through them, like they may be active, but like somebody was keeping an eye on this house.
I don't think that's going to stop Fish from going up to the front door. Not before just going, all right, well, that was pointless. Tattoos back. Big smear of disgusting concealer. And knocking.
Go away.
No.
Silence. Knock again.
No. Instead,
Cal
it's
goes,
Fish.
the charm is really not working today.
When you say it's Fish, there is a pause. And then in a quieter but still angry voice, go away, pescadito.
You know I can't do that.
Why? Something you're here for?
Yeah, I'm here for Henry.
You hear heavy footsteps coming towards the door. Locks being undone. The door opens just a little bit. Chain lock, kind of keeping it from opening all the way. You see a much older Oscar Malaveda, kind of shorter, heavier set Hispanic guy. And as you see just like a little flash of his face in the light, you see deep circles and bruises on his face and the imprint of hands around his throat. Bruises now fading to green and yellow. As he says, "You're here for Henry? You didn't give a shit about him for years, and you're here for Henry now? You kill his mother and you're here now?"
Okay, hold the fuck up. I didn't know he existed. She never told me. Where is she? Where is she? Where is Izzy?
Dead. Isabella's dead. Get out of can't fix anything. And then goes to close the door. And it is there, in that moment, that I think we will end today's session of Well-Dressed Bones. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.